faded in. You know what I'm saying? Hey,
I like this beat
Yes,
right here. This
sir.
is vibe.
Man, that shit so fire smooth. You know what I'm saying?
I might have to get a verse on this
Mm.
or something. Girl, I need to get on the verse. Yeah.
that's easy. That's easy. You know that.
Yeah,
We produce
wow.
this shit all every day. They produce this shit every fucking day.
That shit dropping so smooth, boy. The one I heard the other day, that's my shit. That bitch so smooth, boy.
We got the wake and bake music. You know what I'm saying?
Yes,
They always
sir.
talking
Yes,
about
sir.
something, you know, like overcoming something, blowing on something, getting some money.
Hey,
Yeah, that's what it is, bro.
hey, man. You know I'm blowing it. You know I'm blowing it. Big boy. I like mine thick like cacao when I roll my shit. Mm. That boy sliding in that bitch. Sipping on some of this mud.
Yeah, man.
Now, I'm from the South. When you say mud, what you talking about?
Coffee.
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
Oh, we fired up. We fired up too.
Hey. Yes,
You know how we
sir.
gotta do, man. We in
Yes,
here.
sir. Uh-huh. King Mike.
You gotta blow. Hey, I got my APBT magazine. Join in.
We're gonna roll up right now. You know what I'm saying? All the gold on like the 80s. You know what I'm saying? Fat nugget watch.
Yes, sir.
Mad hint cake. You know, we
Man,
smoking on that
come on
Mad
with
hint
that
cake.
shit, man. I need
That
some of that. Yeah.
Hey,
Yes, sir. That bitch,
the
that's the
hint
real deal
cake.
there. Oh my.
Come
Hey,
on,
Yeah,
man.
that's
hey,
it.
hey,
You know,
hey, man. Hey, the bag I'm smoking out is so big I can't even put it on camera, man.
Come on, dog.
They think I'm a kingpin. Yes, sir. The animal face, huh? I can smell it from here, boy.
It's falling out. Come on, man. You guys gotta
Hey,
step your
start the
game
week
up,
fresh.
dog.
Monday morning, crack of
You gotta
dawn,
step your
smoking,
game
bro.
up, dog.
Did work.
yeah.
You know?
Yes, sir.
Blow my shit off. You know? Come on, man. Bake and bake.
They say if you ain't choking, you ain't smoking. Yes, sir. Roll it up, fire it up, smoke it up.
Yeah, now we
Wake and
get up,
bake.
man. I get up, man, early, man. You know? Because you gotta start that day off, man. That matters. Where you
Listen, man.
that matters, bro. You know?
I get off work. I get off work 2 o'clock in the morning, bro. I'm in the yard at 7:10, 7:05. I'm already in the yard. No matter what. I done been to the yard, took care of everything, waiting on the Wake and Bake show, man. Early bird get the run. Believe that. Back in the day, boy, you be out there in the streets, allegedly. I'm up early. 5 o'clock in the morning, I'm out here getting this early morning money. Everybody else still sleep. They
I've
still.
been up all night, bro. I ain't even went to sleep yet.
I did plenty of those. Yes, sir. Did plenty of those. All night flight, what we call it.
I got off this morning. I said, man, I got to get on the waking base. Bro. I ain't been on the waking base. Bro, what's up?
Hey, boy, Buck called me right on time. I'm off today. You know what I'm saying? Finna show y'all some shit, man. In Florida. This the type of shit that walk around in your yard, man.
Yeah, man.
Look at these motherfucking sand hill cranes, y'all. These bitches just walking in my yard, you know what I'm saying? This is a regular day out here, man. The motherfucker bigger than a motherfucker.
What is that?
Oh yeah, that's big
Them,
right there.
see them birds? They right here in my yard, man.
Yeah, you guys is living that tropical life.
I let my dog out on that shit.
He ain't. Hey, he ain't here. Hey, he ain't here, bro. He ain't here. He ain't
Boy,
in.
that shit
He ain't at
knocking
my house.
things down fast. I'm telling you, that motherfucker better fly till it can fly.
Yeah, but trouble gonna scratch into him, man. But my female dog that's pregnant, she gonna hit anything that moves from a lizard to a butterfly. It better not be a leaf fall off the tree. That
Yeah,
type of
hell yeah.
time and she on. I'm sitting down chilling, burning these motherfuckers right here in my front yard. Man.
Yes, sir.
You know what
Hey
I'm saying?
man,
But,
everybody
you
tap that
know,
like button, man. Tap that like button, man. Wake and bake. We in here. We in here.
hey, start the week right, man.
Let's
Monday
get it in,
morning,
man. Let's get it in. Why keep the whole litter?
circumstances, you know,
Why
depending
keep the
on
whole
if
litter? Let's talk about it. Musician, come on, man. Let's talk about it. Let's talk about it today. Why keep the whole litter?
let's just say first breeding, um, a mistake breeding, and you ain't comfortable letting it out to the public, you know, circumstances. You know, back in the day, it was other reasons why you kept the whole little, you know. It was all about circumstances,
You,
man.
you like
What y'all think
you
about it?
like the
Speak
mama
on
and daddy, so now you keeping the whole litter. Shit.
it.
You
You
said
don't
you
want to
you
get nothing
did
to the
you did what?
public.
I said you like the mom and dad, so now you keeping the whole litter.
Yeah. Hey, I'm telling you, it's cheaper. Let's say you making the good gumbo, right? And you already gonna have 20, 30 dogs anyway, right? Why not have your gumbo? You know what I'm saying? Why not save all that space for the shit that you're producing? You know, I think that got something to do with it. Like, I'm not saying
I
that
respect
there's
that.
junk everywhere else, but it's like, why would I fill up my yard with this, and this when I got this and I could just keep the whole fucking litter and boom, that's all the chain spots right there, you know?
Yeah.
Million different ways, reasons though. That's why I chose this as a good topic just to set the floor, see who's in the building. Bub Johnson, I see you.
Oh
You
yeah,
Ross,
you know what I'm saying? Circumstances,
RBG,
man. You know.
Bloodthirst.
And
I see
like
y'all, man.
shit.
Musician in the building early. Everybody, all my waking bakers in there early. Heart and Finish Kennels in the building. Salute, brother. We
Salute,
getting
brothers.
it.
See y'all shot me out. Salute all y'all
Shit,
brothers,
man.
man. Good morning. Top
Why
of
I
the
I
keep
week,
got
the
baby.
whole litter though? My first when I first came in contact with that ideology, I can't remember how old I was. Probably real young, you know, maybe 15 or something. You know, you hear about that. You know, you talking about people and when they're trying to describe the dogs, you know, like that was like an extra flex, kind of, you know, like, yeah, man, those dogs are good, man. You know, he bred it to blah blah blah. You know, they kept the whole litter, and you know what I'm saying, and shit like that, like that. That was like a extra little, you know what I'm saying? Because I'm just a youngster, but I soak game up. That's my thing. One of my specialties. I just soak shit up. You know, I'm like the
Listen,
ultimate.
man, you
Like,
know,
you think he's a,
allegedly,
but really, I'm just an ultimate student. You know what I'm saying?
uh,
And
allegedly, you know what I'm saying? Like my uncle, like he ain't giving nobody nail puppy, you know. Like he gonna tell you right quick. I'll let you keep one to keep in the team, but I ain't letting none outside of the family. That's just how he think. That's how he was. That's how he was raised. You know what I'm saying? That's how he do it. You know, he ain't giving nobody nothing. Like everything staying within the team. You know, that's just how some people. That's how they do it. Some people, you know.
Yeah, yeah.
Hey man, I had to run to the back porch. I thought the motherfuckers was gonna attack me, but they got a little bit too comfortable, a little bit too close, bitch. I had to get on in the highs, get on the back porch, man. But yeah, you
Hey,
know what I'm saying? Old school, guys that don't
can you
believe
pop
in
this
letting none
for
of this
me?
shit go. Huh?
Can you can
Nah,
you
hell
like
nah. They got a law on it. You can't fuck with them
yeah,
saying he'll claim, put your ass
yeah,
up under the jail.
yeah. No, I know what you're saying. Shit, we got Perry dogs like that. You know what I'm saying? You can't fuck with the Perry dog.
Oh yeah,
Oh
the
man.
tree hugger. They think we're gonna let the dog get on
Hey, I
them.
would though if they get in my yard. You know what I'm saying? I ain't gonna lie. I would. Fuck them tree huggers and fuck whoever come over. Shit, it shouldn't have been in my yard. But if it's a law against it, then you can't.
Yeah, you
They'll,
know what
they'll,
I'm
they'll
saying.
bust your ass if it's a law on it. You know what I'm
That's all the tree
saying?
hugger need, man. They just want a
Yeah.
little bit of little wiggle room, man. They gonna be on your ass. Dickie Foster, what up, brother? Hey, we in here, man. Y'all smash that like button, throw a dog a bone. We
I
get this
got
stream up.
got
We'll
a
get it
story
up.
for you, Buck. On the mag, bro. Look, I'm at work today. I'm a janitor at the hospital, so I'm grabbing trash and shit. And lady said, "Hey, I seen you in the magazine." I'm looking at her. I'm like, "What?" She like, I ain't even understand her at first. You know what I'm saying? She like, "I seen you in the magazine." She like, "I seen you." I was like, "I work with him." I'm like, "Yeah." I was like, "What magazine?" She was like, "Yeah, my dad got the APBT magazine." You know what I'm saying? I'm like, "Oh shit."
Hey,
Yeah, yeah. Real
Hey,
shit.
that's what it's
Hey,
all
hey, look.
about, man.
hey, man, look, that's what
Hey,
I'm
look.
talking about.
Hey, look. Guess
Damn
who her
lucky.
dad is, though? Guess who her dad is?
I think you told me.
Now I just found out, but her dad's eclectic.
Okay, yeah, yeah,
Yeah, he
yeah,
told us. He clearly
yeah,
told
yeah,
us.
yeah, exactly.
He
Now he
clearly
told us.
told us that his daughter worked with you or
Yeah,
something
yeah,
like
yeah.
Yeah,
that.
So,
Yeah.
yeah,
and
so
that's
Uh-huh.
it. You know what I'm saying? So shout out eclectic and his daughter. Man, I didn't catch her name, but you know
said
what
you
I'm
was
saying?
a first class dude too, though. Like polite, nice,
Yeah,
respectful.
yeah.
He,
She
he
really
said
shot you out,
Yeah,
bro.
good things about you. You know what I'm saying?
He a good guy.
yeah,
That's
yeah,
Yeah,
good
yeah,
straight
though.
up.
yeah,
We get on here and joke around, but when you get off of here, like it matters, bro. Rather people want
It
to.
matters in the real world, bro.
It
The
matters,
YouTube shit
bro.
don't matter, bro.
Who you
The
are,
YouTube shit
dog.
don't matter. You get a real shout out about the type of person you is and the character you is. You know what I'm
Right,
saying? That's further let us know what type of person we dealing with. You know what I'm
right.
saying? On here you can put on the front, but in real life you yourself. You ain't no front in the real world. You feel me?
You could have been an asshole, motherfucker at work, motherfucker, you
yeah,
could have been, whatever. But
yeah.
Yeah, for real.
because you didn't know that was ever gonna come back to us or whatever. You know what I'm saying? So nah, that's
Dickie
huge, man.
Foster, what's up, brother?
Hey, that's what I said. I said the world is small, bro. The world is small
It
as a
is.
motherfucker. You know what I'm saying?
That's the first thing I said when he told us the story. I said, "Damn, that's crazy." And it was just so happened that you wasn't on live that day when he was on. He told us.
Yeah.
You know
Okay.
what I'm saying?
Okay. Yeah. I didn't even
But
catch it.
but
Yeah. I
but
didn't
it's
even know
just
he said that shit. I just seen it
yeah
today, man. So, you know what I'm saying? Shout out to him and his daughter. You know what I'm saying? Caught me off guard at first, though. I'm like, what? Police? Hold up. Talking about you breed dogs, you in the magazine? I said, hold up. I looked at it. I was like, huh? What are you talking about? You know what I'm saying? They say, I be trying to keep
you know
quiet,
what
low
she talking
key.
about. Yeah,
Yeah.
that's what she said. You real quiet and manable guy. Nah,
Yeah.
ain't no
Yeah.
low key. You know what she talking about. You know what I'm saying? The
Well,
ABPT magazine. You
yeah,
know.
for sure. You know what I'm saying? I was proud too. You know what I'm saying? Got the smile, you know what I'm saying? Like, yeah, you see you sexy red. You know what I'm saying? Yeah.
Hey man,
Get
hey,
that
it's a wonderful
magazine though, you
thing.
know what I'm saying? Look, that lets you know you
That's what
never
the
know who
magazine
but
supposed to do.
and
You
look, man,
know,
we
that's
was
what the
chopping it up
magazine
for a
supposed to
second.
do.
She fuck with them dogs too, and you never know who fuck with dogs. That just show you that I think she a nurse or something. You know what I'm saying? So
Right, right.
shout out to him and his daughter, man. They doing their thing.
Yeah, that's what's up, man. That's what we like to see,
100,
hear.
bro. 100,
You know what
man.
I'm saying?
That's what the
Wake and bake,
magazine for.
wake and bake.
Reaching out. You know what I'm saying? That's what the magazine for, man. That's what it's doing now. You know,
Hey, wake and bake. Let me see. Okay, so keeping a litter. When it first came on my radar, like, there's an actual necessity for that. Because usually it's not that. People bred mutts in the hood, different shit. The collie got to the pit bull, back in the 80s. Every now and then you see a real pit bull running down the street, and one of the OGs got one. Or, and then, shit, half of those probably had some type of cut to them. That's how the bully world kind of started. Them dog, you breeding the shit. You want to breed a dog just because nobody got papers. Everybody said they had papers. Nobody had papers, bro. It was a bunch of motherfuckers lying and shit. You know what I'm saying? So you get into the real dogs, it's like, okay, let me soak some of this game up. And you're gonna see that you'll have a litter, and people are always chasing that macho buck, that Mayday, that fucking, you know what I'm saying? So a lot of times there wasn't a whole bunch of those in a litter. You know what I'm saying? Like, if you just trying to have a real solid yard, or, you know what I'm saying, whatever, you can kind of pick a puppy and, build a solid yard, but if you looking for a macho buck or fucking Jeep, or, you know what I'm saying, one of those them historical dogs, because they reading those journals, the hype is there. You're seeing what it is. They got details on, match reports, different stories and stuff that you hear from old shit. So they like, well, fuck, what's my chances of getting that motherfucker right there? You might go breed to him, not knowing the genetic capabilities, not knowing if the dog can really produce. You just going off of his match reports, So when you do that, I mean, obviously, in this opinion right here, just to add it in here, obviously dudes was not getting the dogs that they was looking for when they was breeding to those, overhyped or hype or accomplished dogs, decorated dogs. And so, or you keep two of them, somebody else get one, they get one, and then the one that you let out ends up being the best one. Right. So to prevent that, obviously, people were like, well, fuck, you know what I'm saying? If I keep the whole litter, then I can prevent that one lucky ass dog getting out. Not like you don't want to give nobody nothing good, but you're doing the breeding to create you some good dogs. Like, your first intention is not to sell the dogs. You're breeding for you. There's always extra. And then, if you're keeping a line of dogs, you got a lot of those on that line or whatever. You don't really need 5 or 6 off of that same cross. Just like Raiden and Sexy Red. We don't need 6 of them. You feel me? We got other dogs on that line that comparable to that. We got Frozen Semen, shit like that. You really don't need 6 dogs bred like that, So that's kind of some of the ideology about it. You're gonna keep them all that way. You can prevent the possibility of you giving away the best one. That's where I first heard it, when it first came to my mind, and people kind of use it as a flex too. Like, they not just selling their shit, they're hunting, doing things like that. Of course, those dog men kind of got a little favoritism back in the day. We talking about the 80s, 90s, 60s, 50s, 70s, it's gonna be favored. You get more favor if you working your dogs or you're not letting them out a whole bunch. I mean, there are a lot
The
of good
game
dog
wasn't
men that
friendly
let
back
dogs
then,
out.
you know.
You said
Yeah.
what?
I say it wasn't friendly back then. Like a lot of people kept their shit to themselves, but you had your breeders like Patrick and Carver who sold off, but you had other people who just wanted to keep their stock to themselves most of the time. They wasn't friendly back then.
Right,
But they want to keep their shit to themselves.
right. So yeah, now you'll get those dudes that they first instinct is to get the shit and sell it. Like they don't even keep nothing off of that litter. You keep something. That's why I always ask, like, if a breeder, if we gonna sit back and do a versus on breedings that we did, we just sitting up here going back to back, just like, oh yeah, look at this, going back to back. Like, if you could do a versus, you doing these breedings, these good dogs, but all in all, I'm gonna kind of ask, like, what did you keep off of that? That's an
But
important question that people don't ask.
straight, straight out book. If I'm buying a pup and the person don't say I got first pick, I'm maybe not buying it.
You said
Just,
if the
just being
person say
honest.
I don't got first pick,
If the people don't say that I want the first pick off my own litter, if they don't say I got first pick, they said in the whole litter, I might not purchase that. I might not purchase that dog. That's not that litter. Cause that showed me you don't believe in that litter enough to keep one of them. You know what I'm saying?
yeah,
Like to keep one for the team. Like that's kind of skeptical to me. If you don't want to keep one, I'm not gonna buy it if the team that I'm buying from don't say I'm keeping the first one, or
well
or, or
they
that
could just
or that
say
I'm
but does
that.
that
keeping
mean
one,
you
I
got
look
it
at the
ain't
or
long
or
term.
or, or that I'm keeping one. Yeah,
Yeah, I'm
like
gonna
does
look at
that
the
mean they
long
ain't good
term because
dogs
they could
though if you don't want
easily,
to keep one?
you know. You said what?
yeah, and
I said, say they don't like say they already got like like they shit already established and they got all other dogs and shit. Maybe they just ain't keeping one. You know what I'm saying? Like, are they? You know what I'm saying? Like, does it mean like if they don't keep one or a couple of them that they ain't got no good
that
dogs or
that
something? Or
that nah, that don't mean that. That's just me personally. I say I'm not buying one if they don't want one out the look.
Man, look
yeah,
at
If they
I
don't
think you
want,
gotta be so far, you gotta be up there with Tom Garner for you not
to
to
say,
to not breathe for yourself, bro.
and it
You
ain't that
breeding
many of
for
them.
yourself, bro. Every breeding that you do, you looking to keep some, bro. Period.
yeah,
That's my opinion. And if you just looking to
Mind
sell
you,
them right out the gate, then to me, that's like
that's skeptical to me. That's like
you
a little. That's
doing.
like a little. You
We
know,
got a lot of people for that. Like, there's a lot of good dogs that you could squeak one out of this litter, one out of that litter. Like, we don't need dudes to just post up with whole litters for sale. We don't really
yeah.
need that. We don't need that. This game don't
I
need
ain't
that.
dealing with
You
it.
don't even
I
want it.
ain't. I
You
ain't. I'm
don't.
telling you, I'm not.
There ain't no way
Bank.
you could
I
tell
ain't
how they
buying that,
turned
bro.
out.
If
Yeah.
you ain't keeping one, if you ain't keeping one out of the breed, that tell me that you don't trust that breed. Like that breeding should meet. So no matter if you got 100 dogs, that breeding that you're doing right now that you selling, you should want at least one out of there for your blood. You know what I'm saying? For yourself. Even if you give it to somebody else or whatever, you should at least want one. You know,
Yeah,
to
yeah.
see
I
to
mean,
see it
that's the
go
same
up.
as keeping them, right? If you set a couple up somewhere or something.
Yeah, that's kind of the same. But you ain't selling them. You know what I'm saying? If you put one at auntie house and you gonna keep one over there and just take care of it, or put it at somebody else's house and you still taking care of it, you gonna let them take care of it. They're still not selling it. They're just having your pieces in different places.
Yeah,
You still watching it grow up. You still hands on with them. But if you letting one go, leaving, you know, just let's just keep it real. Allegedly, the 40s, 50s, 60s, and 70s, no old man they want to get beat with his own shit. That's basically the frame and start of it. Allegedly, none of these things we say are used for dog fighting. We are talking about history, 40, 50 years ago, 60 years ago. You know, That's the
Hey,
reason,
hey, Mo, so do you know who was the first person that bred the American Pit Bull Terrier and be like, I got one for sale?
hell no.
You know what I'm saying? Like, who's the first motherfucker to be like, yo, I got a pit for sale?
And called it a pit bull.
Yeah,
Cause you know what
yeah.
I'm saying? Some because these days back there they called it fighting dog.
Well,
You
fighting
know what I'm
dog.
saying?
Yeah. Who was the
They
first
call them
person to
go
say, yo,
clone.
I got one of these motherfucking machines for sale?
What's going down, fellas?
What it
What's
do,
up,
man?
brother?
Slow motion, you know what it is. What we on?
Borderline.
Borderland? What up, Borderland?
Shit, same old, same.
Yeah.
What's up, Welsh? What's going on, brother?
Ain't shit. What's
Well,
good? What's
what up,
good?
man?
What's good?
Big
Ain't
Hank,
too much.
boy, Buck City, we all in the building.
Yes, sir.
What it do?
But
What
yeah,
we on?
man, speak on it. Speak on the borderland. You're a breeder. Speak on why keep the whole little.
Because it's fire. No, I think, I think you keep the whole litter, man. Because well, you gotta see what. I mean, it depends how deep you are into your breeding program. You know, uh, you keep the whole litter for one reason is to ensure that they are carrying the traits that you're looking for in the future. So by keeping the whole litter, maybe not on your yard, but accessible so you can understand or keeping track of your whole litter is probably the key. But that's to ensure that you're producing quality bulldogs before they hit the masses, you know what I mean?
Got to cross-examine them.
Right. And then, you know, uh like a lot of people do it for different reasons. Some is for being stingy with dogs or just wanting to keep it all to themselves, you know what I'm saying? But the real reason to do that is to ensure that you're producing quality bulldogs. And the only way to do that is in the beginning of your breeding program is to understand the difference between the different genes by visual
Yep,
sight, and attitude.
yep, yep. Learn your breed of animals. Like learn what you breed and learn what you're putting out there. You don't want to put it out there if you don't know what it is.
That's
You
it.
know what I'm
That's
saying? You can't. You know,
and the other
I'm
reason
with that.
they all fire. You know what I mean? No, I, I think when it comes to bulldog, in the old days they keep them up due to the competition they were in, and since
Yeah.
since that competition is not legal and people are into that competition that way no more, you keep them all to ensure that you're breeding quality bulldogs, man. And that's it.
Well, some good reasons to keep the
Once
whole litter.
you're in your program, after you've done that a couple times, kept the whole litters, did your own culling, and understand your bulldogs, then as a pup, you pretty you could basically understand. Oh, this dog's gonna look just like that when it grows up. You know what I mean? Because this is what it looked
He's
like
gonna act just like his uncle. He
generations ago.
acting just like his granddaddy.
Right. You
Mm-hmm.
know what I'm saying? Then you know. Then you
Mm-hmm.
could tell. You could pretty much tell people, hey, chances are this bulldog's gonna be just like this bulldog was, and this was an excellent bulldog. That's
Mm-hmm.
just from attitude, sight, visuals, and the way the dog is acting. But you know, to each his own. What y'all say about it
Along the same lines, we already done spoke on it.
already?
What you think about it, Wells?
I mean, I think it's important, me personally, just so you can see the personality of each individual dog. But if you don't have the space to keep them all, then it is important to network so you can understand the blood better moving forward. Because if you don't understand at least 50% of the litter moving forward, that's where most people get lost in the sauce going down the road, selecting the wrong dogs to move forward with.
Exactly.
You know, like
That
I
makes
give you
perfect.
like I give you example. Um, my last 3 litters, I kept 4 to 5 from each one, and all the rest of them are in different states. Good results. Now, if I had kept all of them, would I have the same results? Would I have been able to give each one of them dogs the proper timing to get those good
Attention.
results? Yeah. So
Yeah.
it's that's very important with the whole litter conversation, because at the end of the day, if you don't have a strong net, if you ain't got the acres to hold the dogs, the next best thing is your networking program. You feel me?
Right.
Because I have champions off of my litter that's never been on my yard, but
Right.
the person who had my offspring, they it's on their yard. So if that could have went either way, because if something had happened and I didn't cross-examine that dog properly, would that dog still be a champion today? So all of that comes into place when you talking about keeping the whole litter and all of that. I think it's more about networking than actually keeping the whole litter. To me, just in my perspective.
Man, as long as you can
Yeah, that's
see it,
true.
like you know what's going on with it, you know, like y'all got to understand who or wherever you got it at, and you can still see how the dog. You can pretty much know like what's going on and how is he acting like the siblings, or is he slightly better,
Yeah,
or is he
exactly.
slightly worse? So, you know, you still can see even if it is out of state. You know, if you got good
Exactly.
communication, you know,
Exactly.
and everybody
Exactly.
working together. You know,
Right.
Yeah.
you
Communication
know,
is
he
key.
could.
I think what you said was you were able to understand or know the results of the bulldogs. And by keeping the whole litter, most people misconstrue it, and it's probably better to put them in good hands. But if it's a good
It's
communication,
okay. It's okay to keep the whole litter if you can. That's first and foremost. And if it's like something like a breed in there, you wasn't expecting, and you don't want to put it out there in people's hands, but you still can put it around to your team, and to your community of people, where you can still see it come up, even if you give them to them. If you don't got the space for them, you still can see them come up, and it still could be a part of your program. But it's all about making sure you will say having the proper time to deal with them, to take care of them, and make them help them reach their peak as far as they can. You know what I'm saying? Because there's only so many hours in the day.
right?
You got family,
Exactly.
you
Yep.
got work. You know what I'm saying? Like how much time can you put in with each individual bulldog if you got 30, 40 dogs on your yard?
Right.
You know,
And the be
86,400 seconds.
and
hey, hey,
the
Buck. What I
beauty
say,
of it,
Buck?
That's their
What
book.
I say, Buck?
You said what?
86. That's what I say, Buck.
86,400 seconds in a day, baby.
That's what it is.
That's their buck in the
Every
building.
day. Every day that's what it gonna be. What you gonna do with it,
but
you know?
the beauty of networking though is if if you get one from me and I get one from you, we swap out pups from different litters, and the ones we swap out just so happen to be successful. Guess what? That not only boosts my yard, it boosts your yard, because when we put it together, we know where we going moving forward. You see what I'm
And it's
saying?
all
So
about
that
and it's all about finding the right people, bro. Like dealing with the right people,
exactly,
trustworthy people.
exactly.
Cause you know what I'm saying, people gonna fuck you. You got a whole big team. You can't trust everybody to treat them the way you gonna
Nah.
treat them.
Well,
That's
they
why
gonna
you got to pick the
it's just
right
like
people, bro.
dogs. They gonna weed themselves out. The the
Yep.
the fuck,
Yep.
Yep.
the fuck guys out of the crew, because I could make a whole team full of fuck guys.
Yeah.
You know how many that I done came
But you
across
had to go through them to get to the good guys.
to
So
get to the good
you know
Yep.
what
guys,
I'm saying.
and it's worth
So
to me. It's worth it. I mean, you don't want to take losses, but it's
it
worth it.
happens.
It's worth it.
I,
Expect it. That's
I,
part of the game. Expect that. Ain't nobody got a clean, perfect resume in these damn dogs. Ain't nothing never happened. They ain't never lose one. Something ain't happened. Motherfucker took the dogs and really did something else. Like it's gonna happen. Expect it. If you really
Yeah,
doing
some
the
shit's
dogs the way you're supposed to do
understandable.
them.
But some things that these dudes do, is
I
unexplainable.
can't
But that's who they
they're
are. I
unacceptable.
figure
Yeah.
it's just like a homie. Let's say you had to go to jail and you gave him 5,000. Like there's only a certain amount of your guys that's gonna bring that shit back when you get out, bro. I don't give a
Yeah.
be family or
Yep.
not. You know, you give it to a motherfucker, and some people it's in their DNA just to fuck shit off. They don't know how to. It could be $100, and they'll just fuck it off. Everybody knows people like that, you know.
Yep.
So some
Yep.
of these
Oh yeah.
dudes be posing like dog men and talking this good game, but the actual result is the only thing that matters. Just like with producing, just like with anything else, the actual result of what the fuck
The
transpired is the
outcome.
only thing that
Yep.
matters. You know, I could
I'm
breed the
with you.
best shit. I could go get some clones. I could do all that, but what matters? The end result. At the end of the day, you know.
Yep.
Bro,
That's all that
we
matters,
could grow
bro.
a whole football field of weed, but what matters? What
Is
matters?
that,
Does it
is that
smoke?
bitch smoking or not?
Exactly.
Hey,
Oh shit.
I got a question. I got a question for y'all.
Go ahead, brother.
All right, look. All right, we talking about keeping the whole litter, right? So I'm saying, I'm just thinking, I'm high, right? So I'm like, does it benefit you to keep the whole litter or not? Because you know what I'm saying. Like, if you got all the dogs on your yard, you know what I'm saying. Some of them ain't gonna look as good as the others, but if you spread them dogs out, them dogs might look better on somebody else's yard because they better than the
Exactly.
shit
That's
they got.
huge. That's
You feel?
huge.
That,
That's
That's
that,
huge.
that, that,
That's why the
that's what he's
networking
saying.
comes into
yeah.
play.
Yep, that's what Will's saying. Somebody
That's
else
the
might got a
network.
couple more hours that they can put into the dog that you can't. You
Well,
give
no,
them that
just it's
extra
just
time,
different.
that
It's
extra
a
work.
different
You
water.
know.
Like our water, I could drink out my tap water. You see what I'm saying? So the dogs up here are extremely healthy. They're
Yeah, yeah,
extremely
yeah,
healthy.
yeah.
You
You
gotta
got
know what
some
hand.
places where the elements are different. You know, like we don't
Yeah.
really
Your
have a
environment.
bad
Your
heartworm
environment.
problem. You know what
The
I'm saying?
environment matters. Yeah, right. The environment matters.
Yeah.
Right.
And the
But
You
it's
food,
the
know.
you
same.
might be eating some different food. Maybe this dog yard don't have a whole lot of dogs to where he just stretched out at the end of the chain, can't keep no weight on. You feel me? He goes somewhere else. They got two damn dogs in a big ass pen. He living like a goddamn king. You know what I'm saying? So you get
But
different elements.
yeah,
You know, to live in that shit.
that's very true. I'm gonna tell you something, Buck. I'm gonna tell you something. So it's one of my partners, right? So he got some nice alligator shit, right? So I used to see his dogs and yada yada. He had a situation come up. So I had to watch some of his dogs for him. So they had to come to my property. My property is in the middle of the woods. We got bears, we got coyotes, we got coy wolves from 45 to 85 pounds that snatching niggas' dogs off the chain. You
Wow.
feel me? So yeah, that's so it's people that been in my property that know this. Now that I kept his dogs for about 7 months. When his dogs first came to my property, they didn't sleep for like 3 days because of all the shit going on. Now,
Unreal.
now he got his dogs back in the inner city. His dogs are completely different from what they was. So at the end of the day, when we talk about keeping the whole litter, the environment also plays a big part. You can
Right.
keep all of your dogs, but if Buck live where he live at, and them dogs drinking certain type of water, or this person over here in the elevation is different, or some of the dogs is over here in the woods, all three of them dogs are going to grow up differently and have different personalities, and everything about them going to be different. The only thing that's going to be the same is the blood. So at the end of the day, it's all about the cross examination. At the end of the day, rather you keep the whole litter or rather you network. Me personally, I'd rather network because different environments bring out different things in the dog.
For sure.
That's just like four brothers get taken by child protective service. One grew up in Cali, one grew up in New York, one grew up in
Yep,
Florida, one
yep,
grew up in
yep.
Texas. You know what I'm saying? They gonna come up, grow up around all different circumstances. They're gonna be different characters, different environment, but they still just gonna have the same blood. You know what I'm
Yep,
saying?
yep, yep. Perfect example.
Yeah.
Perfect example.
Or another one, I brought three dogs all the way from Mississippi to the borderline, or Alabama to the borderline, and it took them a while to adjust to this dust and heat and the way they care and the way that I care for the dogs. But it took them a while. But it's a different atmosphere, different everything. The dogs are completely different from when I brought them over here.
Right.
That's just like everybody else. When you move to a new city, you got to get adjusted.
Right.
You got to learn where the store at. You got to learn what's going on around here. You got to learn these people. You got to learn everything. When the dog gets into a new environment, he got to learn everything. You got to look at it. You know what I'm saying? He learning everything. He figuring it out. You know what I'm saying? That's how you got to look at your dogs and shit. You know what I'm saying? You got to give them that opportunity to figure shit out. They ain't gonna just come and be welcoming. Like, okay, I'm right at home. Hell no,
Right.
I don't know this place. This shit's new to me. Everything new to me. I never seen it before. You know?
Right.
Yeah.
That's just
So you
like
know
a
what I'm saying?
dog
That's how
first
you got to
time
look
off the
at it.
yard.
And it's good
Yeah.
for dogs to get out there and in different hands. As long as you know what the purpose of the hands they go into is, because different dog men have different purposes. So if you put them in the right
Right.
hand and keep in touch, you know what I'm saying? Keep in touch with your boy. But
Yeah, be friendly. Be friendly. Hey man, when you have a litter, let me see what you're doing. Let me see the breed and see if I want one. We can work something out. You know what I'm saying? Like be friendly. Keep your blood around you. You know what I'm saying? Keep your shit around you. Keep your blood friendly with you, man.
Yeah.
You
right.
know?
It's the
But the
repeat.
best,
Be
Like
like,
if you
yo, let
selling
me
dogs, those repeat customers gonna be essential too. You
that and
know,
maybe be
Essential.
like, yo, send her
because
down, let me breed her one time, you know?
yeah, I mean the trust is already there. You know how they get down.
Right,
They got your dog in good hands. He taking them to shows and putting them in a positive light. You know, you
yeah,
have more litters. Let's say it is a litter that you wanted to keep them all, then you consider letting that guy get one over somebody else. It's real
right,
selective. My thing is I don't really care where they are as long as you can, as long as they're getting taken care of. It's about the preservation, like it really is. Some things
right,
cost money. Some litters, you're not. It just ain't going to be free because there's a lot that goes into it. But the all in all, it's about the preservation of the breed. So if you're surrounded with people that got that same like-minded, mindset, then it's gonna work out for you.
right,
Yeah, right. Hey, you can tell a person about what type of work they putting into their yard. Like you can look at the yard, you can look at the dogs, you can damn near see, you know what I'm saying, from their perspective, how they taking care of their dog. You know what I'm saying? You can't hide a good looking dog. You can't hide a bad looking motherfucking dog. You know what I'm saying? Like you can tell motherfucking good healthy looking dogs. Okay, yard clean. Go over there. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? You got to build your community, build your network. Like Buck say, build your network, build your team, and people and shit you can trust, and people that love the dogs where you love them.
right,
You know
Yeah,
what I'm saying?
yeah. Nah, a lot of the good. I always talk about the top dog man today or the successful. We could look at however, whatever you think success is, but a lot of them, like they might be the face of the franchise, but they got a lot of good old networking homies that they fuck with, that they
right,
could get that frozen semen from that, like they in line from that. And we all, it's just like the NBA draft. We all basically come in this shit the same, like the draft, maybe 5 years, every 5 years. That's like a new draft that you came into this game. And when you
Yeah.
your shoulders with dudes, you're bringing each other along the way. And then about time 20 years from now, your network is going to be so big that the guy that got champion whatever on, you know what I'm saying, or this
Damn right.
this
I remember
line
when he
that
first
nobody
got it.
got. They got that. Like, yeah, my just like my partner, he got the champion Big John Seaman off the sun. Big John back to the littermate sister. Nobody got that shit. I know nobody got that. You feel me? He got the tightest shit. 4 breedings off this fucking dog. We got this shit when we was in high school, you know, 16, 15, 16 years old, collecting dogs. First time, nobody was that we knew was doing that shit, you know. And so that's my right hand man. Like, if anybody get one, it'd be me, off of that shit, because we came up together. You know, we've been knowing each other for so long. You
Same
know this
passion
guy.
for the dog.
Talk to him every
You know
day.
what I'm saying?
You know when he's gonna use the shit. You know,
Same
so
passion, bro. You
it
know, you
ain't
got the
magic,
same
man.
passion.
You just gotta be in this shit. You gotta be solid, and you gotta be solid for a long time, man, forever. You know, and you'll never know, man, who you gonna bump shoulders with, man. It's gonna be some good people along the way. Somebody got a bloodline right now that's gonna be extinct, and they don't even know it. You don't
Hell
even know
yeah.
it.
Hell yeah.
And 20 years from now, you might be the only motherfucker with it. And then now you see what people talk about when they say hard work put in, you know, or the work put in, or, you know, the foundation, you know, all of a sudden, all those fucking words start to make sense because you see that you actually did that. You built that, you know, you preserved that shit for 3 generations. You know, that's not easy. A lot of times
Hey,
people keeping a whole litter because they don't want to, because you lose 2 out of 5 puppies. By the time they 2 years old, bro, you fucking probably lost 2 of them.
Yeah.
Easy. That's easy. That's easy to do. So they want to keep
That's
them all because the casualty. Like if I just keep 2, this is a special ass litter. I just keep 2, and I don't have the parents. Yeah. What they say? One bitch is next to no bitch.
hey, but you keep 2. You sold somebody else 3. Yo 2 die, and he don't want to deal with you no more.
And they be acting funny.
So
It's always a
so
chance
Yeah,
that the guy
yeah,
is
niggas turn
acting
into hoes.
funny. You
yeah,
done
Yeah,
lost everything, you know.
yeah.
just say
So
what's
now
up, bro. Niggas
you
turn
back
into
at
hoes.
scratch. Yeah,
Yeah,
right.
man.
You go tonight. You go tonight. Answer the phone, giving you the runaround. Tell you I'm gonna give you a pup. Oh man, she only had 3. We gonna keep all of them. You know what I'm saying? You gotta hear the bullshit.
Yeah,
You know
yeah.
what I'm saying? You gotta hear the bullshit, man. Just keeping it
My guy,
real, bro.
ain't even gonna say his name. My guy, he already know, cause I be talking about this all the time. Like it was 1 litter and it was 3. You know, my guy
Oh
got 1,
man.
I got 1, he got 1. You know, but then it's the same thing over again, and off of because that mom ended up dying. You know what I'm saying? So this is like a delicate thing. This daughter off of this shit, we get a litter. It's 3. Now all of a sudden, oh, we got to see. But when it was only 3, when the ball was in my court,
You
you
want
ain't.
one.
I slid. It wasn't no question. It's only 3. As soon as it's only
See what I'm
3,
saying?
it didn't take me
That's
2
crazy.
seconds after I knew it was 3 that I knew where them pups was gonna get divvied at. Like, okay, boom, boom, boom. That's easy. And ain't no use even
No
telling nobody
hesitation.
about this,
Like, niggas
you
be
know.
sucking their
Solid.
dick when it comes to these puppies, bro. They be holding their nuts when it comes to these puppies, bro.
Man, I never want to
Hold it.
argue over no pups, dog. I never want to argue over no
yeah,
fucking pups or no
that shit
shit,
stupid.
dog.
That shit stupid.
Or fall like just your word is everything, man. You know what I'm saying? Like, motherfucker go to show their true color when them damn puppy drop. If
Yep.
motherfucker gonna say so, I always believe don't count your chickens until they hatch. But if you gonna speak your beak and go out there on a limb and say something, stand on your word, man. That's all.
And
It keep everybody happy, man. It be more trust, more communication, man. You know what I'm saying? Like sometimes you can't keep all of it. You know what I'm saying? Sometimes you want to, and sometimes you don't want to let shit out to the public because you don't know what the breeding is. But you still can get them out to people around in your community or in your network. You know what I'm
Man,
saying? But
it don't matter
but
if
but
you got
it's
if
some
you
shady
had 2
motherfuckers,
puppies,
dog.
man.
It's some shady motherfuckers, man.
That's how it is, man.
It don't matter if you had 2 puppies and you and your partner went in on one and one of them died. You gotta let the man get that puppy. You gonna bring back around, bro. We
Yep.
ain't
Yep.
why people be holding on to the puppy. Oh man, I don't know. I gotta see. Quit being a hoe, bro. You probably gonna let the dog die anyway. Get the dog up.
But that's how it is. That's how it is, man. Cause like with me, like for example, with outcrosses, most of my outcrosses and some of my best outcrosses came from people I've been networking with, meaning they got dogs from me and I got dogs from them. Some of my
Right.
best outcrosses came from networking.
That's how it's supposed to work. Well, you know,
It's
in the
like
right world.
me and 4 different people, we got like 3-4 generations together. And mind you, we not even kennel partners, but we not kennel blind at the same time. They realize my shit work with they shit. I realize they shit work with my shit. Everybody happy. You know, you
So
can't get that with everybody.
It's just brothers working together. How it's supposed to be. You know what I'm
I
saying?
mean, that's how it's
A
supposed to be,
motherfucker,
but a lot of motherfuckers
motherfuckers
ain't
so
right
much
out here,
against
man.
each other. Oh yeah, no, motherfuckers looking to get the ups on you, man. You know what I'm saying? Like ain't no doubt about it. Everybody want to be number one, but it's the way to do it the right way, and it's the way to be a snake and try to get over on people and lose trust and shit. You know what I'm saying? That ain't the way to do it, man. The way to do it is keeping your word, doing what you gonna say and say what you gonna do. That's all it is, man.
Yeah.
Being a loyal motherfucker, you know, making shit happen. If you can, you can. If you can't, you can't. Don't sell shit that you don't know you don't want to do. Then a puppet drop, a motherfucker done change his number on you.
Hey, that's
yeah,
some funny shit. That's some funny shit right there.
Hey
That's some
man, for
funny
real,
shit.
man.
They be
Hey, I'm gonna tell you.
safeguarding the
I'm
pups
For
like
real.
that, bro.
Lot of boy. Let me tell you a quick little story, right? So, about 5-6 years ago, um, we was looking for a dog, right? This dog just so happened to turn out, right? It was for my wife. He just so happened to turn out because he got loose and showed me something on the camera. So, dog turned out to be successful, made a name for itself, household name, right? So, mind you, after this dog first successful hunt, I told the person, I said, listen, send me a female off of this dog right here, and I'm gonna send you something back, right? You know, the person never sent me the puppy because they was out here chasing the money, right? Fast forward 5 years later, this same person wanted to breed 7 females to the dog that I got from them. But the motherfucker, exactly. And listen. This same person went out and bought 5 other studs, and they ain't produced shit. So
Hey,
you see it. So that's why I say a lot of niggas ain't shit. A lot of people ain't shit, bro. A
listen.
lot of people don't
Soon as the
stand on.
motherfucker came back and asked for the bitch, I'd have said, "What a puppy at?"
Man,
he
listen,
And
lot
I'd
of
have
boy.
hung my phone up.
Lot of boy, let me tell you how bad it is. He got other people trying to breed to my dog just so he can get a puppy because he know I ain't gonna let him breed to it because he didn't do what he was supposed to do.
he burnt his
He trying
bridge.
to back door and get a puppet through somebody else.
Man,
Niggas ain't
listen,
shit.
about 20 different people then asked the stud to that dog, and come to find out when I do a background check, they associated with this motherfucker.
Look, check
It's
this out.
crazy, man.
This is what people don't understand. It take you 20 seconds to burn a bridge, but to rebuild one, man, that'll take you a lifetime. So don't burn your bridge.
Hey,
That's why you gotta
listen,
be
man.
around
I got a
solid people,
homie.
man.
Listen, man. My homeboy made a breeding. Listen, I'm in Florida. My homeboy made a breeding with this guy. You know what I'm saying? They had puppy deals. He had a male, she had a female. The nigga moved and took the female way to Ohio with full of puppies. Never heard from him again. You know what I'm saying? Like motherfuckers do grimy shit, bro. Never heard from him again. Took the whole female full of puppy to Ohio. Ain't bring get
That-
back no puppy, no nothing. Never heard from him again. Done
Damn,
studied
that's crazy.
to my dog. The main puppy deal, bitch, big and fat, bitch, took the whole dog to Ohio. Never heard from him again.
Yeah.
You know,
Man,
like you gotta watch motherfuckers like that, man. You know, everybody ain't solid. It's most shady motherfuckers than solid motherfuckers. So when you find one, don't fuck
hold
them over.
on.
You
Well,
know,
what's crazy is people do
don't you be
shady
a
shit
shady
over
motherfucker.
dogs, bro. That's what's crazy is they do the shady shit over just some dogs, like some puppies and
You know,
shit.
motherfuckers do shady shit over everything, man. Motherfuckers
Yeah, I
steal
know,
from their
but
mama.
we talking about
You
some
know,
dogs. Like
motherfuckers.
you expect a motherfucker to burn you for for 10 racks. But you know, when you put that 10 racks in the puppy, you don't expect them to burn you. Well, in my mind, it's like, come on, bro, it's a puppy. It may be worth $3,000-$4,000 or $5,000, whatever, but it's a puppy, bro. Don't burn the bridge over a puppy or a dog
Listen,
or
man.
something.
Listen, man. It's motherfuckers on Facebook taking deposits right now that ain't even got no dog.
Oh,
Hey, that's
Hey,
That shit is
It's,
serious, though.
it's motherfuckers
that's
sharing
cool.
motherfuckers now taking deposits right now that ain't never had no dog. Taking deposits
I'm
from
saying, man,
motherfuckers, then
that shit be
ghosting them.
serious, bro. Like, cause you're gonna come across the wrong one that's gonna shut the shit down over you
Motherfucker
playing
got fake
with them over
litters up
that
there,
dog, bro.
fake mama, fake daddy, fake litters up there. But as soon as you send a deposit, bitch, you can't get in touch with them no more. It's motherfuckers sharing motherfuckers like that right now. As we speak, a motherfucker getting shammed on a puppy deal. Bitch ain't even got no puppies. That's what I always say, man. Cracking is cracking, man. You don't want no problems. You want to get a good, healthy pup, good transaction. Ain't no scam shit. Go to cracking. But it's motherfuckers right now that got shit up for deposit, and they ain't got no little nowhere in sight, bro. Keeping it a
Yeah.
buck, man.
They be thinking, oh, I ain't gonna budget. This world is small, cause you gonna bump into that motherfucker you fuck, or somebody that know that motherfucker that you fuck. You
Nah,
gonna get
boy.
that gift.
These motherfuckers got a good sham, boy. They got a good sham where you never see them again. They wait in another state. But you'll never see this person. You'll never see this person. They done got your $500 deposit. You'll
Yeah,
never see this
you'll
person.
never see him. You don't even know, like he ain't even reachable because his
He ain't
profile
reachable.
fake as shit and everything. You
Yeah,
know,
that's
how
crazy.
you gonna reach a fake motherfucker? His own family don't even know he's this guy.
Fake
Yeah,
name, fake pictures, fake address, fake state, fake everything. How you gonna get it?
Yeah. He got that deposit. He got that. Hey, I was on there, man. I seen a cage full of nice bread dogs. See, you got to beware because there's a lot of good bread shit out here. But it was a red flag for me. They looked like they was about 5 months old. There was at least like five of them in a little ass pen, and I definitely noticed like 3 of them with rickets. You know, bent up, bad as fuck. You know, the pups got to be like 5 months old. I'm like, damn, how are they even able to get along in there like that? You know what I'm saying? Like, they look kind of old, but you know, somebody gonna grab it. Somebody don't give a fuck. They ain't looking. The rickets
shit.
awareness, it ain't
That's
set in
the
all the way.
You gotta know what you're looking for and see it and know
AI
what it
puppy.
is. I mean, who out there jogging, man?
Yeah.
Yes,
But
sir.
yeah, man, wicked awareness. Hey, you gotta be careful, man.
hey,
They'll get you with a smile.
shout out to the slumpers, scumbags, and the lowlifes. I see y'all riding hard in the chat.
Paul
Yes,
Harris.
sir.
Yes,
Oh, yeah.
sir.
Hey, so when people ask for
Sir.
because we talk about rickets awareness, when people ask for extra pictures, I mean, that shouldn't be a problem
No.
because at the end of the day, I want to see what the fuck, you know, if you standing on if you standing on business.
Yeah, for sure.
You know?
Nah, man, let me see that left leg. It look a little weird.
Yeah, man. You know,
Hey, turn
don't
that
feel like
motherfucker
it's
all the way
tired from you.
around.
Hey, man,
Just
put
don't
that
feel
Yeah,
like
right.
it's
motherfucker in
tired
the
He
from
told
sun.
he
you, though.
told
You know.
he said I need a 360 view of that motherfucker.
Yeah,
Damn
yeah.
right. Turn this motherfucker all the way around, man. Get back there, tail, fluff it in the motherfucker. You better pay attention.
Hey, man.
You
Hey yo.
better pay attention, boy.
Hey, for
Goddamn
You
real.
better pay
Labrador
attention,
tail.
Have to
man.
be more careful.
Boy,
Because
got
you
to be
might be
more
keeping
careful.
them Ricket motherfuckers. Because if anybody is listening to this, he's nah, don't go for the okey doke, man.
Yeah.
A dog with rickets, That's
That
not
mean he ain't letting them out. They ain't getting out to play. He ain't doing the right things with them. You don't want
no.
nothing from their yard
You don't
anyway.
need that. The law gonna
You
get
see
on
them
you.
bitches.
They're gonna go to the yard, and that's gonna be the one that they take a picture of. They're gonna be like, this, this
Look at his
animal
leg.
dog fighting and dogs on a chain. They're gonna show
Oh,
that
he's
bent up
digging
ass
the
leg,
lone
and
wolf.
it's over for you.
As soon
I'm
as you
telling
get
you,
it, they on you.
they take
I'm still a
listen,
nigga
bro.
with
They
that
take
regular
every
leg.
little small thing and they blow the shit up. So what do you think they're gonna do with a dog's with his leg twisted to the side
100.
on a
Yeah.
chain
100.
You going down, man.
with a
You
dirty
going
ass
down.
They gonna
bucket
run you
to
down
drink
through the
out
mud
of?
over that one.
With that green ass water bucket. You going
Yeah,
down, man.
Yeah.
with an algae water bucket.
You going
Goddamn
down, man.
water bucket glowing in the dark and shit.
Oh, that's why I like, bro. That's why I like them white buckets, bro. I got white buckets. I can see that this water this bit crystal clear, clean in this
Hey,
motherfucker. That you don't play.
Hey
But
yo.
so what you do to prevent the algae?
The algae, you better change that damn water.
yeah,
Yeah,
I'm
yeah.
about
yeah,
to say, yeah,
but
you got
Yeah, I don't, I
you
don't know
gotta
my
clean the
father
water.
to talk to Algie,
I'm
man.
saying you change the water, but what I do to prevent it in the bucket, you swipe the bucket with a towel of bleach,
Yep.
and then you fill it
And
up.
you can just do that with your hand when you turn the hose on. Use your hand and it'll clean that motherfucker. You ain't
Oh
just
yeah,
do
yeah.
When
it.
when
I'm
I
talking about to
when
prevent
I
it
clean my
from.
yard, I fill that buckets up with bleach and dish detergent and shit. I let it sit for a while before I wash them out. Before
Right.
I clean
Yep.
the pen,
Yep.
clean everything out. When I get back to them, that should be spotless.
I,
That should be
I
clean. I
got
know it's
it.
clean.
Ooh, hey, I got it.
You know.
I got it. I
Well,
got it. Yes, sir. I got an idea. I'm filthy.
what's that?
Speak on it, bro.
I can't let this one come out. This one's
Okay.
Yeah.
I can't let
Oh,
this
How's
one
that
Hold that
sweet?
one in. Hold that one in. Hey,
out.
but
Yeah,
fast
we
freak,
hold
man.
this one in.
Hold
hold
that
that
in.
one
Fast
in.
Hold
freak,
this
man.
one
Hey, but
in.
we gotta stop fronting like motherfuckers be doing all that extra precaution shit. Man, we gotta quit talking like it. Look, this the fellas, bro. Ain't nobody out there taking no rag every time they fill the bowl and washing their dog bowl out and shit. I done seen some of the best dogs, beautiful them motherfucker, be in the backyard, motherfucker, for 10 years and they ain't never been in the house and all that. Come on, man.
Yeah.
We gotta stop with that rag on every time we wash the. You take your hand and rub the dirt out the bottom of the bowl and fill that motherfucker up. It's clean water for a dog.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
I shoot it. With the water hose and the water
Fucking
gun. If
too,
I'm not washing it out, I shoot that bitch
Nah,
out with
I
the
ain't gonna
little
lie.
goddamn
I ain't gonna lie.
sprinkler.
What I do, I grab some grass, I rip up some grass, and I scrub it with the grass, and then I
yeah.
rinse it out, and then I fill them back up.
I got the sprinkler here, the water here. That bitch got enough power, like a pressure cleaner. When I shoot that bitch out before I fill it up, that bitch be
Yeah.
good. You know what I'm saying? I'm shooting
There
that
we
bitch
go.
out and fill it up. I'm
Now we
talking
getting
about,
the truth
but
out, cuz.
I'm talking
Y'all was
about,
tripping.
I'm talking about the days that I do clean it with the bleach and shit. You know what I'm saying? When I do
Yeah.
clean that
Yeah.
shit out, that's how I do. I let it sit and bleed it too. But that ain't no motherfucker every day. Hell no. I shoot that
Yeah.
shit out with that damn sprinkler head and fill their ass up. Wait till the water hose get cold, fill their ass on up, and they good to go.
Yeah.
Come back, I
I'm
do it
saying
again. You know what I'm
good
saying? They
that
have
you
fresh water throughout the day.
I
But
rub
but
it
you never
down
let your
with
shit.
bleach.
But some motherfucker let that water sit 2-3 days, bro. I'd have been on the
No,
farm
man, I ain't
and
doing
saw
that.
the cows and horses drinking shit. That shit, the water looked damn brown and green, man. I never let my dog
Hell
drink that shit
nah.
like that.
Well,
Hell no.
if you were somewhere where it's hot, like, down here, you get up in the hundreds. So, you going to go out there at least 2 times, 3 times a day to fill up the
It's
dog
100
water.
now. It's 100
Yeah.
now. Damn right. I go dump a bag of ice in my dog shit sometimes. You know
Yeah.
what I'm
Yeah.
saying? They hot as fuck out there. They outside. It's 100 degrees in Florida right now. Heat index, humidity. I don't go by the temperature. I go by what it feel like. If it feel like 105, that's what it is.
Oh,
And
he
this,
said,
And then how your dog,
he
this
said
you
mother,
that's
know,
what it is.
damn right.
Damn,
What the
boy.
real is, damn right. That's what it is. That's what you feeling. Shit, man.
yeah,
This
We
South
supposed to be
Florida.
85 today. Shit, that's beautiful.
and 97 where
Shit.
I'm at.
Right now it's 90, but it feel like 99. You know what I'm saying? With the humidity and heated. Hey, you heard the old school back there. They
Shit,
say, "Show
motherfucking
here like this guy out there."
Raven, he gonna drink the water. You could fill up a whole bucket of water. Raven gonna get it. He gonna smack some, and then he gonna look at you and take his paw and just knock the whole motherfucker over while he looking at you. Like
But
motherfucker.
see,
Yeah,
they
right.
only gonna drink that bitch when it's cool. You feel me? After a while, that shit gonna get hot. Like they only gonna drink it when it's cool. You in
But shit,
100-degree
he's
weather,
smart though, cause he
you
knock
know.
it on the concrete and then he laid in it. You know what I'm saying? So this
Yeah,
motherfucker just lay in the water. You
He
know what
said
I'm
he
saying?
knocked him.
What you do is you pour his water, then you shoot some down on the floor and see what he do then. See if he gonna lay in it and still knock it over and see what he do.
Hey, you
You
fucking with
know.
the right one, cause the first couple times, you know what I'm saying? I'd be like, man, hey, don't knock your bowl over, phone. You know what I mean? I go out there, fill it back up. Then knock it over again. Your ass won't have no water till I come back out here, bro. Don't fuck with me.
But if you
You
get
See,
the
saying?
man,
I seen people get the
I got a
50-gallon
concrete bowl.
drum and they'll fill that motherfucker up with water. They'll cut the bottom and fill that up with water, and the
Oh,
dog
you talking the big blue
will jump
jug?
in there. Yeah.
Yeah, that's what I was
Yeah,
thinking
but
about. You know, I got a 10 by 15. I think about putting him a little pool in there. You know what I'm saying? When them things set up, fill it up, he could just jump in and out.
Exactly.
the coldest water bowl I've seen is Thompson Kennel. He uses the hubs and fills the bottom with cement, a rim hub, and fills the bottom with cement. I think it's cut out the top. I don't know. I couldn't really see, but man, they really
yeah, see
all
my
that.
dog, I got one. That bitch, he disturbed as hell. He always used to knock his shit over. I got the white buckets, but my other dogs, they don't knock that shit over. But him, I made a concrete bowl. I
Oh,
don't have that problem no more. He can't knock that bitch over.
Yeah,
It's
the
hard to fill
concrete,
it up,
that's the
but
best
you
shit
know,
ever. Concrete's the best.
yeah, I got a concrete bowl.
Yeah,
When you got
definitely.
behavior dogs like that, his ass got a concrete bowl. That problem over with. You can't even move that bitch. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Dogs that like to chew their bowl and play with the bowl too
Yeah,
much and
he chewed the
have a
hell out of that
bowl
bitch, bro.
all in
That
the
bitch went
fucking
through.
house and shit. You know, we're gonna put a
Well,
concrete bowl, bro.
that motherfucker went to 3 white buckets. I said, I got something for your ass. Homemade steel concrete bowl. No motherfucking problem.
Yeah. And you can
No
make them
motherfucking
as
problem now.
heavy as you want. You know, you can make that
Yeah,
motherfucker as heavy as you want, bro.
I'm gonna
You
tell you
know,
how I clean that bitch out. I flip that bitch over. I let it roll, and as it roll, I'm shooting it out with the water sprinkler. It roll back. I flip that bitch over. I fill it up. That's all, you know what I'm saying? That's how you gotta take that bitch. And then when I do clean it out with the bleach and shit, that's when I gotta pick it up and move it. But you know what I'm saying? It ain't a problem for me. It's a problem for his ass. That bitch
see,
heavy though.
I make the one where I could just slip the stainless bowl back in it, you know.
The stainless bowl is mounted inside mine.
Yeah,
Right.
it's
So
my
I can
yeah.
take
That's
mine
how
out.
much it
I
is.
can
Yeah.
take my
Yeah,
bowl
that's
out,
hard if you can take
but
it
then
out.
I can
Oh
put
yeah.
it
Oh
back
yeah.
in,
Oh yeah.
you
See,
know.
bro, that's what it is right there. Damn right. I ain't got that one. My
Right.
my shit
I'm
mounted
taking the
together.
bowl straight out. That way I could clean him and bloop, put it right back on there. He can't fuck with it. It's in the concrete. It's inside
Yeah.
the lip. You know, he can't get to it. You feel me?
He ain't thinking about it. Yeah, he can't move that fucking country. He ain't
Yeah.
thinking about trying to get it. You know. But yeah, I got my shit. My shit was homemade. Me and my KP made my shit, bro. That bitch pretty good though.
Hell yeah, man. The concrete. That's it. You
Okay,
can make
Mister.
it
Yeah, hey,
hard
y'all see
too.
Mr. Nichols. He said use a drop of peroxide per gallon and let it sit. That's how tree growers in Cali keep bacteria-free water. That's what's up. You know what I'm saying?
You
Every
could you
now
could
and then,
do you could do
a
you could
cap
do
of
apple
bleach.
cider vinegar
You know,
also.
I got that. You know what I'm saying? I keep the apple cider vinegar. You know, I use it for other shit too. I use it to spray on them,
But
keep
that's
bugs
long
off them.
term though.
I
You
learned that
gotta
from Borderland.
algae don't grow. Algae take a week or two to grow, bro.
Yeah, it do. It
Oh yeah,
don't just
damn right.
appear in your bowl.
Like we gotta stop this, man. The
Yeah.
Yeah,
algae ain't
and
growing in
like
no 3 days, bro.
and
Yeah.
straight
Yeah,
up.
you
If
ain't get your dog
you ain't
water. You got a
changing the water,
5 gallon
Like we can
bucket.
use these remedies and shit, but
all you
who's
want to. If
letting
you ain't changing that water,
a
bro,
week?
2 times a day, you bullshit.
It was you got
Straight
a
up.
5 gallon
I mean,
bucket
I
and
mean,
you leave it out there till it's
I
empty.
mean,
That's where you get the algae.
I meant 2 times a day. 2 times a day. If you ain't changing that water 2 times a day, I don't know what the fuck you doing. At least 2 times a day. No matter where you at, you ain't letting that shit sit no whole day. The bucket of water just sitting there. Cause in Florida, we got mosquitoes and shit, and mosquitoes grow in
Yeah, you
water.
can't. Yeah, you can't let
You
them.
know that
Yeah,
you
Yeah.
can't. This
Hey,
shit ain't.
I heard you say you spray. Don't spray your dog with apple cider vinegar, bro. That attract flies.
No,
There
you
you
mix
go.
it with
See, let's talk
No,
about it. Let's
You
talk
mix it.
about
You
it.
mix it with the iodine. I mix it with the iodine, alcohol, and
Look,
in
yeah,
the water. You know,
but it's the
it's,
vinegar smell that bring the flies. So you gonna always have the flies around your dog.
but it's a I feed them the treats. They got the apple cider vinegar, coconut oil in it. It's to repel mosquitoes and flies and stuff. So
That's through their
you know,
blood. That's like if they bite on your
yeah.
blood, but they attract to the sweet smell of vinegar. Vinegar attract
yeah.
bugs.
the alcohol and peroxide and iodine kill that. That's my remedy for the flies, bugs, and all of that. I use apple cider vinegar. When you put
And that's what I use because you borderland. I used it. I got the spray bottle with the iodine,
yeah,
alcohol, peroxide, goddamn, and a little water.
yeah, and
With
then
it ain't
Yeah,
attracting
I
to
think
my dog, you
that's
know.
how you catch fruit flies with your vinegar. And other flies land and they bite. I'm just telling you what I know. Them flies bite on vinegar. You can go outside and spray your concrete with vinegar and go out there and check it. You're gonna have flies on that spot. So,
dry it with the
Uh
peroxide,
oh. Uh oh.
iodine, and
Okay.
do the same spray that you do with the vinegar, and next to it, try it with the alcohol, iodine, and peroxide in it, and ain't no flies gonna come to it. They gonna it 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 repels them. I even use it on my doorways to keep flies from coming in the house too. But yeah, but no, I feel you. Apple cider vinegar by itself will attract them. And with the mixture, it works. And it keeps mosquitoes, flies, ticks, fleas, all that off your dog.
And little cuts and scrapes and stuff too, like that, you know,
Yeah, and
with
it
the
kills
iodine,
grapes. Yep.
alcohol, peroxide. Mhm.
Oh yeah.
But you know, but I got some other shit I use. I use a purple bottle. You know what I'm saying? For what they use for the horses. That's
Oh
what I
yeah.
use to spray on my
Fly
dogs to
spray.
keep the flies away. Yeah, that's what I use. And I got some other shit that I spray my yard with through my water hose. I tie them to my water hose and I spray my ground back there, spray everything, you know, for mosquitoes, ants, bugs, for every damn thing. You know what I'm saying? I don't want nothing back there. I got a problem with them little bitty ass mites and shit. You know, I give them shit for it and try to keep it off, but they still be back there hovering around. You know what I'm saying? Them little bitty ass damn little gnats and shit. But I ain't got no fleas or no tick problems and none of that. You know, it's good to help outside. It's just like, but me, I don't have no body of water and nothing, not even in the tire. You got an old tire sitting around and a little splash of water getting there from rain. Mosquitoes grow in that shit. You know what I'm saying? So, yeah, in Florida, you want to keep your yard water free. So that's
Yeah.
why you change the water twice a day anyway. They ain't drinking that much water, but you want them to have fresh water because it's hot out here. And then like I fill it up halfway with water, then I dump ice in they shit. You know, my girl, my bitch dog, she love that. She be hitting that bucket of ice like it ain't nothing. Bucket of ice water, you know.
Yeah.
Yeah, that
Just
ice,
small
man.
preventative.
There
But
here.
but you gotta but you gotta change that water. Ain't no damn um bacteria free. You gotta change that shit at least twice a day. No matter where you at.
I don't do it twice a day.
It ain't nothing to go out there and just splash the water out and fill it back up. It ain't like you gotta cross no damn mountain to go out there and do that twice a damn day. And like me, I don't even live by my yard. I drive to my yard twice a day, you
Yeah,
know, no matter what. If I'm working or not.
that's what's up. That's
And then
dedication.
I got my other people over there and shit. I got my other people over there and shit, but I make sure I go over there twice a day, you know what I'm saying? Make sure this shit right the way I like it.
Yeah, that's what's up.
Hell
Yeah,
yeah.
telling you, bro. Hey man, you get out what you put in. You
Straight
put in
up.
that bullshit. Oh, I'm too tired. I don't want to go check on it. Before you know it, you got a yard accident. And you ain't going out here and check the chain spots in a while. You been bullshitting. You been jelly dicking around. Like
Oh,
all that shit come from preventive measurements. Checking your yard, being on top of your shit when you do go. You know,
yeah.
mistakes gonna happen. All of us human, none of us perfect. But some shit can be avoided if you just put in a little bit more work, man. That's all I'm saying.
Them collars be wearing out too. You
Oh
know,
yeah.
that's
Uh-huh.
Oh
Yep.
yeah.
I ain't hear nobody say
All
that
the
this
time.
week.
Say,
You know,
but
All the time, bro.
on a different note, oh yeah, she's damn near ready.
I change my collars out every year.
Nice.
Every
Hey,
8 months to
Bo,
a year.
what nation say? What nation best say? If you ain't breeding, if you ain't trying to keep the whole litter, what he said, and I saw you put it up there, but you took it down.
He said, what makes a breeding and
And
wouldn't
wouldn't
keep the litter
if
have
they
the
have
room?
room.
That's telling me you shouldn't have made the breeding.
yeah,
I don't
Yeah,
know. You
for
know,
sure.
I
Make a
believe,
breed in it.
that's true.
No,
I
I feel
never got to the point where I just want to get rid of them all. Never.
no.
hell
Been
no.
breeding for a long
No.
time. I never got to that point. I mean, it took me a long time to even let anything go. 17 years before I let anything go to the public. But even after that, it's like shit. I still never made a breeding that I didn't keep them all or try to,
When you wanted to keep the ball.
yeah, a couple or something.
Put
You know
them
what
in
I'm
the
saying?
right hands, you know
3
what I
or
mean?
4, yeah. You know.
That's it for sure.
Like I think that sexy red litter, there was a couple females that died, but there was only one that it got sold to the public. I talked to him from time to time.
Yeah.
There was only one out the whole litter. Like we kept them all. You know,
You
that
know
was
what I'm saying?
it wasn't no like I said, we still talk to the brother that got the other one. He just hit me up about him like a week ago.
You know what I'm
Sexy
saying?
red.
In the
Good
building.
business.
What's up, my brother?
What up, game breaker?
What up, though?
What's going
Oh
on?
man, wake and bake, man. Salute to you, brother.
Already dope.
Oh, really?
Speak
Top it up,
on it.
man.
What's going on?
Why keep the litter? Why keep the whole litter?
Dickie Hart,
Um,
Hart finished. Dickie Bloodthirst, the musician. Hey man, chat going off.
Speak on it, gang. Speak on it, gang breaker.
Speak on the
which
game breaker.
keeping the whole litter.
Yeah, why keep the whole litter?
Um,
Him, he
I
might
think with keeping the whole litter is the only way that you, the handler slash breeder, can properly evaluate your product, man. When you get to see when you got the whole litter on the yard, you get to see all the streaks and weaknesses of the pack that you just created.
right. I think this is the first time everybody on pretty much the same page with it.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, like I say, it ain't nothing wrong. Like I told Buck, it ain't nothing wrong with selling your dog, but I'm not gonna buy a dog from somebody who don't want at least one out the litter, unless it's
Yeah.
you know what I'm saying, a top notch
Well, you don't
motherfucker. You
know.
know what
You
I'm saying?
don't
And
know
I'm not
though.
even
You
going
don't
enough.
know. I could tell you I'm keeping 3 of them and then end up selling them all.
That's true.
You
That's
don't
true.
know. You don't know what
That's
That's
this
true.
true.
guy is.
Mike Jan in the building.
He
In the
might say that
game.
he still got it. He done sold that shit.
Burning Star.
What you say, Buck? That's the hook, line, and sinker right there. Only one
Yeah.
for sale.
He
Only
send
one
you a
going to the
picture.
public.
Yeah, he send you a picture of the motherfucker on the couch. That's not even his couch.
It's somebody else shit. You damn right. You damn right.
Yeah, true.
That picture with him on the couch. Everybody got one of them. Shit.
But I think it's more percentages as far as depending on the camp itself. Again, rather you keep them all or network. I think it's more rather depending on the word we use, but it's more of percentages to know how many going to successfully make the cut out of each litter. So it's more about the percentage, if you ask me, the overall percentage.
Yeah.
Oh, if you're a breeder, it's always about the percentage. Like you want a good percentage because it let you know you're doing the right thing. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
You don't
so
want to have no 10 dogs and only two working out. Some ain't you ain't doing something right. You know what I'm saying? But everything is a crapshoot, and the dog man matter just as much as the dog. So like you were talking about earlier, being in the right environment, growing up the right way, getting the right schooling. You know what I'm saying? Got a big component on the dog's outcome. It's a big component on the dog's outcome and
Yeah.
how successful he gonna be and how he gonna be campaigned.
yeah, it's just
Between
it's all about the hands, man. So at the end of the day, if you ain't got at least 3 to 5 acres minimum where you can have and you can keep all of these litters and make space for everybody, then
Key.
networking is key. That's key.
Yes, sir.
Networking is key. Networking is definitely key.
That's 100.
Because again, I'd rather spread them out. That's just, even though I have the space, I'd rather spread them out in different
and watch them
environments.
grow. Oh
Environments
yeah,
and
and watch them
yeah,
thrive and see how they
Yeah,
thrive in
yeah.
different parts of the country. You know,
Long as I got at least 2 to 4 male and female, then I'm good. The rest, I want to see them spread out so I can see what they gonna do with themselves. I don't know. Just me personally, I've been liking the network results because you get to see more.
and different hands, different aspects, man. Different people
Yeah.
are
Yeah,
I like it too. And
Yeah.
it's cool if you have 3 or 4 different camps that you work with. You know what I'm saying? Like, yo, I'm gonna send one over here. Let's see how it grow up with you, and one over here. See how it grow up with
because again, if they have different dogs, then remember you ain't got to look for no outcross.
right.
So that you killing 2 birds with 1 stone. You know your shit working. You know well, 3 birds. You know your shit working. They shit working. So both of y'all just gave each other outcross.
Right. And if it come
It's
together
all about the
and work,
network.
you know it's working.
It's all about the network, man.
Yes, sir.
hmm
I agree.
and like sometimes you know what I'm saying. You don't
Yeah.
want to put your name on your dog until you know what it is.
Right.
Just
Yeah,
like Bo
that
was
too.
saying, you
That
know what
too.
I'm saying. Just like Bo say he ain't selling to the public for 17 years because he was doing his thing for his shit. You know what I'm saying. He wanted to make sure he was up to par with his breeding game and what he was putting out to the public. So everything he put out there, he could put a step on it and say, "This is mine. This is what it's gonna do. This is what you can expect." You know what I'm saying? Because these are my dogs. You know what I'm saying? Motherfucker can't tell me that you just got these two motherfuckers and put them together and now you selling the puppies. You can't tell me shit about these dogs.
Right.
You don't know these dogs your damn self. That's another reason, you want to keep, what I'm saying, the whole litter and stuff, you know what I'm saying? You don't want to disappoint nobody that they can be a repeat buyer, for you. Someone you could be, you know what I'm saying, a good, you know what I'm saying, something with, just be upfront, be truthful with what you got and what you're doing.
That's right. You're right. So everybody smash that like button.
You know,
Smash them. Smash them.
It's a cook up today.
Appreciate y'all, man. Appreciate y'all. Salute. Mike Dan, I see you,
what
brother.
up, man?
Yeah, you
Salute, Mr. Mike Dan.
rock. Everybody smash that like button.
But it's reasons to let them go too. Like if you don't have the space or you don't have the time or you got too many dogs. You know what I'm saying? You don't want to bite off too much and you can chew. You want them to thrive. You know what I'm saying? You want your blood to do good. So if you gotta get rid of them, go ahead and get rid of them. You know what I'm saying? If you can't keep them on, you know.
Right.
Cause I'm gonna work my time, walk them by one by one, like you know what I'm saying? Like that shit, it ain't no shits and giggles out here with these damn dogs all the time. You ain't putting in work, You ain't out here pouring in sweat. Like you ain't doing nothing. You something ain't right. Something ain't right. You ain't out here working. You ain't got the shovel. You ain't got the wheelbarrow. Like you ain't raking shit up. Like you ain't. You know what I'm saying? Like
Right.
you ain't walking these motherfuckers, working these motherfuckers. You know, like it's work, man. You know,
Yeah, you
Wheelbarrow.
got to keep some of the dogs, man. You know, like
you gotta keep
I
some
want to
on, bro.
when I'm talking to you, and let's say I'm planning on breeding 2 or 3 of my bitches to your male. You know, I'm gonna be talking about. You know, I want to see some offspring that you have. Period. I mean, and yeah, it could be on somebody else's yard. You could tell them about that. That's extra. But what dogs do you got off this motherfucker that lets me know that you believe in this shit? You know, like you supposed to be painting Picassos and shit, but you ain't got no Picassos in your house. You feel me? Like, what are we doing? Or like the Swamper shirt. Like I got Swamper shirts and Buck City shirts, but I don't never wear the motherfucker. You
Right.
see what I'm saying? So I want to see that. I want you to show me that you stand behind this dog. You know, don't just have one. Oh, I got one. You know, you done
Man, you
sold
supposed to walk on
100
that
dogs
yard.
off of this dog. You know,
You supposed to walk on that yard and say, oh yeah, this is her half brother. Oh yeah, this is her cousin right here. Oh yeah, this is her uncle right here.
no,
You know
no,
what I'm
I
saying?
want
Yeah,
to
this is
see
what he
sons.
did. You
I
know,
don't want to see no uncles
this
and
is
shit.
son.
I want to see
But
sons. That's what I want
Right.
to see. Show me those 6 sons.
it was
Yeah,
a
no,
six
it's
son.
You
levels to
got
this shit.
6 of them on your yard.
Show me 6 sons off this son of a bitch. You talking about you charging 3,000 to breed to him and all this shit? You know what I'm
Like you
saying?
ain't
Like,
none.
what are you getting off of him? And then when I see some of those sons, shit, money probably can't buy them. Like, damn, I gotta breed to this motherfucker at that point. You know what I'm saying? Shit.
Damn right when
And
it's
that
right.
and that and
You know.
that's the problem. A lot of these guys, and I stay out of those conversations because everybody prices they price, but a lot of guys yards and offspring ain't matching they stud price.
And that's
You
you
know,
as a buyer and a breeder to look out for that shit and to know what you're doing and doing your research. You know, it ain't your fault if
yeah.
you get fucked. You know what I'm saying? That's on you. It's on you to be aware of the bullshit and know where you're going there and know the research and reach out to people that done bred to them. Don't just
Yeah.
you know what I'm saying. You know you gotta do your homework, bro. You know you gotta do
Because
your
that's
homework. You gotta do
why
your
I was
research, man.
telling somebody else. I'm like, if you can't find no offspring, you got to at least find somebody who bred to 'em.
Yeah.
Like something. Like, but again, it's we're in a different age now, man. It's just it's a lot of everybody want to be the center of attention. Everybody want to be a star, man. But a lot of the newbies don't know who to look out for, and it's a lot of the new people that's keeping a lot of fake dog men thriving because majority of the people they interact with is new people coming in the game.
And most motherfuckers is trying to do it too quick. I ain't putting
That
in the
too.
time or the work. You know what I'm saying? Everything. Oh, I got this, I got that. Motherfucker, you just started breeding yesterday. I ain't gonna lie to the motherfucker say, oh, I've been doing this shit 30 years. Nah. That's the motherfucker I want to deal with. They've been doing this shit 10 years, 15 years. Not the motherfucker who, oh, quick, fast, wham, wham. Oh, yeah, I'm the man. I got this, I got that. Nah, man.
Yeah,
Okay, that
yeah.
you get tricked if you want to. You know what I'm saying? That's on you. You know, it's more of them motherfuckers out there than it is that's rep for the dog, man, who know what they doing,
Yeah.
who been doing this shit by the science, you know what I'm saying, and know what they doing and putting out good product. It's more bullshit than it is good ones, I'm telling you, man. So, you know what I'm saying? You gotta put in your work. Everything ain't gonna be a crapshoot, but you can better your chances by doing things the right way and doing your research, man, and going to reputable people, man. You ain't gotta go to no top notch person, but you can go to somebody that's respectable and that's putting out good shit, man. You know what I'm saying? It's good dogs in the swamp. It's good people in the swamp, but it's some shady motherfuckers in the swamp too. That's all I'm gonna say.
Damn
You
right.
know.
And y'all all don't talk at once. Hey man, what is it?
Oh, I was done,
Let me
man. You
see.
know.
Yeah, I want to see. That's just me. Everybody's different. I want to see a nice amount of those dogs. Just like I just put little Mayday up there and shit. You know what I'm saying? A couple years from now, you know, it's like motherfuckers should have a nice amount of those dogs bred different ways, you know, off of this, maybe him back to trap dog, maybe him, you know what I'm saying? You getting different variations of what it is, you know, throw the war pony 2 shit in there, you know, crossing in. Like you should be able to see what these animals are doing. They should be progressing in some type of sports events, confirmation events and things like that. If not hog hunting and you know, keeping the standard, keeping that standard alive. That's pretty much you know, in a nutshell. That's what I'm looking for though. And if you just
And
got
that's what we try to do,
one
man. You
dog
know, we try
or
to
you got one
preserve, man.
6-month-old puppy, you know, that don't really give me enough to go off. You know, I don't really have much to go off about this dog. Like, is he really that dog? Is he a good dog? You know, is he not? You know, I need a little bit more because, you know, I'm trying to do this with precision. I'm not trying to just be guessing and get, because that's what this is. You know, you get in this shit, you know, an old ass man probably think you got fucking 40 years left in you anyway. If you last long, you know, you're probably not going to last. So he sell you a puppy and, you know, it's all this guessing and pecking and hunting and guessing. Once you get done with that shit, then it's time to actually, you know, let's get to the business. You know, I mean, I know we talk about traits and, you know, this and that, but let's actually get to it. Like, you know, if you really seeking to get a good dog, then I would advise you to deal with somebody that has a whole roster of dogs coming up off of this dog.
Damn
You know,
right. What's
not
up,
just
Cosmo?
keep one every 5 litters, or you know, you keep one when, you know, once he gets about 7 or something, then you keep one. Oh, I'm gonna just keep one just in case he die, or you know, all this, but you don't got nothing else off of this dog, and you done sold litter after litter after litter. You know, that's not letting me know nothing. You if you
Salute.
bred this dog 10 times in 2 or 3 years, and you don't have, I don't know,
10 dogs.
I don't know. Like, what's a number? Give me a number.
That's
You
at
know,
least
like,
one off each litter. If you bred them 10 times, you ain't keep at least one off each litter.
right.
You,
So
you know
that
that's how.
just lets me know that you're just doing it like cattle. You know, you're just like raising chickens or pigs. You know, you raising pigs. You just let them fucking breed. It don't ain't no standard. You know, motherfucker. If he got a dick, you know, he over there and fucking on shit. You know, just let them breed. You know, you know, you're gonna get some pups. You know, they got this thing called Facebook. We just talked about that. Now you could you throw enough lines, you know, you get somebody gonna bite. You know, somebody gonna bite. I very rarely see a pedigree that's not like a decent pedigree. Like I can't just, people send me shit all the time, and I can't just be like, oh man, that's the
That's right,
crappiest
right.
pedigree I ever seen. You know, like it's probably a decent ped. I don't know none of the dogs. Look at the offspring, ain't been bred, or you know, just yeah, he's a good stud, bro. Yeah, you know, like what am I supposed to say?
Yeah.
This son of a bitch ain't been bred. There's nothing on here. Now, if I see somebody I know on there, like, oh shit, such and such bred to that. Oh, these guys had those dogs. Oh, they been had this. Oh, they was crossing it up with this. That's why you read a pedigree. That's why. You know, I hate when people always talk about pedigrees don't matter. I think that's the silliest shit ever. You feel me? You know, you might be tired of the Eli dogs. You know, we were scared of them. You know, it's like I knew a lot of dudes that, you know, they wouldn't touch them dogs, man. They
Come on, man. Come on,
they
man.
wouldn't touch
But
them
Go in
dogs.
on
but
Eli
but
like
but
that.
Buck though, but this the
Just
thing
about
when
to go
people
in on
say
Eli like that, but
You said what?
we're not
no,
just about to go in on Eli like that, but
It's some real good shit.
I
It's
didn't
some
like
good shit
Mayday
out there though.
dogs at first. When I first got introduced, I wasn't. I mean, I can't say I didn't like them, but that wasn't my cup of tea. I was running the same blood, but I was using it. You know, just like the Gaston. You know don't really use Mayday. You know they don't. They got the buck without the Mayday. They got the different dogs. If you go macho buck strain, you're gonna get buck with the Mayday. You know, you go Gaston, they got a lot of dogs without the Mayday. So
I'm without. Yep.
you flip flop, and you tend to love things later on. I like when things grow on you. You know, my best friend probably wasn't the guy that I was cool with just right out the gate. You know what I'm saying? Sometimes you gotta fill a motherfucker out a little bit. You know what I'm saying? Motherfucker gotta, go through some shit. You
Gotta
know?
gotta win you
But
over.
Yeah, they gotta
Gotta
see
win
you
you
under
over.
pressure.
Yeah, man. Win me over, man.
but
Damn
And
but
right.
let
I
me
like
ask y'all
that
Goddamn.
line
something.
because when you get back in the game and you do things, we all can't deny that the Mayday line in some cases, because there's a lot of junk coming out of that shit. I'm not speaking for the guys that hate Mayday dogs, but for the most part, they did a really good job of preserving that shit. And I think it's because of the high price value of it. You know, I think you tend to take care of shit better when you buy it. It's just like Jordans or anything else. I don't collect shoes no more, but when you paying $200-300, a pair of shoes and shit like that, that's different than, let's just say, your cousin just give you a couple pair of shoes a month. You probably wearing the fuck out of them motherfuckers because you ain't buying them. You
Yeah.
know, so you value things that have more value. As
But
simple as
but but
that.
but Buck, let me ask y'all this question. Let's rewind for a second, because I always bring this up when I hear it. You hear certain dog men say, "Oh, the pedigree don't matter, paper don't matter," but they still ask how the dog is bred.
right.
I never understood that. If papers and the pedigree don't matter, how the fuck you gonna know how the dog bred?
You
Exactly.
know, older
That's why
guy,
it's so
see back
ridiculous.
then and now, like it's really more important. It's super important. Now it was important then, but it's super important now. Everybody know
Now,
people paper hang, but the
Take it.
pedigree still matters. Like no matter if the motherfucker paper hang or not, the pedigree still matters. But the dog matters too. How the dog look and what the dog show matters also. But the damn pedigree has to matter. That's the only way
but
you gonna know. You know what I'm saying? Like
I'm
where
gonna
your
tell you,
dog that come from and shit.
Let me say
I'm
this.
a
Oh, go ahead. Go ahead. Well,
no. Well, I was just gonna say, I'm gonna tell y'all what it's gonna boil down to, because I do it my damn self, and I know other dog men who do it. I'm gonna tell you what it's gonna boil down to. Because of all the paper hanging, and for the future reference, what most people don't know, a lot of dogs, well, first of all, a lot of people was hanging papers or said they didn't have papers because they didn't want nobody to know their recipe. But those same people wasn't thinking about the people who are DNA testing the siblings, the half siblings. So the dog genetics is already in the database. So I know, and I told this story a few times. It was a guy who had a litter of puppies. He had another dog that did not have any papers. He wanted to know exactly how the dog was bred, just in case the dog turned out, which 3 years later, the dog happened to be a successful dog. When he sent his puppies swab testing with the ADBA, they told him that one of them dogs genetics did not belong to that litter. He wrote them back. Well, he called them and told them he wasn't trying to do no funny shit. He just wanted to know how the dog was bred. And they sent him, well, he had to pay for it, but they sent him the genetic chart of how that dog was bred that did not have paperwork. So what I'm saying is, in the future, we might see less paperwork and more dog men having the genetic paperwork of their dogs, because the genetic paperwork automatically shows you more than what the pedigree gonna show you in the first place, especially with the percentages. You see what I'm saying? So even with the paperwork hanging part, it's really no use in hanging papers today. You might as well just not sell a dog, because if the person is smart enough, they can still DNA profile the dog. And then if you're not up to date with DNA profiling, they gonna know more about the dogs than you gonna know about them. So
Facts.
But you ain't gonna
it's
know if it's paper hung unless the dogs are in the database, though.
well,
Exactly.
hold on, Buck. Let me give you a better example. My main bitch on my yard, none of her siblings and some of the dogs behind her were never registered or DNA profile. But the half siblings and certain other dogs that did not stay in the program before it got to me, that other people had, they profiled their dogs. So I don't know how much profiling paperwork you got, but when you have dogs that are have the siblings are not profiled, but the other ones are profiled, it'll still show you who it'll show you the percentages of what dog generally makes up your dog. So
And
even if you didn't, they can still find out how the dog is bred, because
it's just
most of
like,
these dogs are in the profile, are in the system now.
but you listen, you see what Mr. Mike Dan said. Like back in his time, it wasn't a database. So you went off where the people told you, you know what I'm saying, how the dog was. Like it's more technology, it's more shit now. But AQ Henry, AGBA ain't always the best way to go. You know, when you
Hell
want to
nah,
put a
hell
dog.
nah.
But to each their
Bro,
own. You know,
there's only a fraction of 1% of dogs DNA that they even have. So,
Where is
exactly.
that? Whoa, hold. Let me
so with
back you
that
up. Let me
being
back
said,
you. Let me
nah,
back
go
you
ahead.
up, but the UKC, let me back you up, because I have the paper. I can show this shit. And I had proved this to somebody a couple weeks ago. The ADBA only has a small percentage. The UKC and the AKC has more game dog DNA on file than the ADBA. A lot of people don't know this shit. So what I'm telling you is, if you it's dogs that's been bred down from Chinaman brother, Red Boy, Jeep's grandmother, that has a family of dogs with Chinaman that a lot of people don't know about, because I posted the pedigree last week and a lot of people never seen these dogs. So what I'm saying is, it's a lot of random people that's in this game you never heard of, that also have dogs down from these same successful dogs that dual register their dogs with the UKC, and the ADBA never got the genetics. The UKC has more game dog genetics on file than the ADBA does. There's Eli dogs that you can, it's Eli and Red Boy dogs that you can link back with Staffordshire Terrier dogs that's alive today, but they're not under the American Pit Bull umbrella. And that's what a lot of people do not know. You have dogs
That
that are
makes
not
sense.
under you have a
That
lot,
makes
you have a
sense.
lot of dogs, you have a lot of dogs that's not registered under the pit bull, that share the same genetics as the dogs that's in your fucking backyard. But if you're not connected with the UKC, the AKC, and the ADBA, you would never notice.
You know you fucked up, right?
You, hey,
So you said you went to the
Nah, I
store.
just fucking with you, bro.
So you said you went to the store at 10:53 and you got a bottle of liquor. So you said you went to the
Hey,
store at 11 o'clock.
hey, hey, you know why though? You know why it makes sense?
No,
Because the
that
Stafford
makes
Bull
sense though.
Terrier, the Stafford Bull Terrier has a fighting dog in it. Like, you know what I'm saying?
well,
The
well,
fighting
well,
dog been around a long, long time. Like, you know what I'm
but
saying? And
but
then,
Lotta
and them
Boy,
dogs are registered to the UKC for
but Lotta
shows
Boy,
and all this shit.
but what people forget, the when the finalization of the American Pit Bull Terrier happened, the Staffordshire Terriers didn't disappear. They were still
Hell
being bred
no.
and fought. But that's what I'm saying. Listen what I'm saying. They didn't disappear. So if you really wanted to find out what staff dogs today are closest genetics to your dog, all you have to do is go through the UKC. They can tell you. They can tell you right now
But
the
how is that
dogs
going to
that's
solve paper hanging though? That's what, see, I think we're in a whole nother arena now. You know what I'm saying? Like,
I mean,
Oh
okay,
yeah, that
okay,
ain't gonna
okay.
stop it, man.
If I get a dog
because they
off
don't
of
have enough data to stop paper hanging.
they,
That
If a
was my
it's
motherfucker,
issue.
if a motherfucker want to lie and put it at such and such, such and such, you can easily lie and put it at such and such, such and such. There ain't no way you can stop that shit.
you can't
Even if
you can't
you,
you can't stop paper hanging. But the thing is, okay, let me give you another example. It's certain dogs. If you look on your pedigree, because I got 7 generations pedigrees. Even if the dog is not known, it would say DNA genetic presence. So even if the fucking dog, even if you tell me the dog is if you give me a buckskin dog and it's a Mayday dog, but you telling me it's something else, and I just so happen to profile it, I'm gonna see what the fucking dog is because a lot of dogs down from Mayday are DNA profile.
but how
So
many,
just
but how much of DNA do they really have though? If they only got, if they ain't got that much percentage, like is it a more of a chance that they won't have the blood in there than it is that they will?
You
what
only
that
need it
that just
once.
that you don't have to. It will not show you the whole profile. It will only show you the dogs that have been DNA profiled. So even if the mother and father is not DNA profile, it'll say unknown, but it'll tell you all of the dogs and their siblings that are DNA
Okay,
profile.
this is a better question. If the dog turned out to be real good and you found out the paper will hang and you can't get the papers back, would you give a damn?
No, because it's all about performance. I'm gonna make my own pedigree.
So you finna hang too? You know?
He said
So
four
you
generation
going,
pedigree is all you need. But
wait, man.
if you're not copying everybody else breeding and you out here bulldogging, eventually you should be making your own pedigree anyway.
But the shit should be right. But like it ain't no guarantee that it's right to start with. That's what Buck's saying. A
I mean,
fourth
of course,
generation pedigree is all you need. That don't mean there ain't no dogs in that motherfucker that be home. Like, I look at my dog pedigree. It got two different bucks in there. One bitch bred one way, one bred the other way, but it's the same damn dog. And everybody's still skeptical of how this motherfucker bred because the motherfucker was bullshitting with the goddamn pigs and shit.
I mean, but this is the thing, though, Lotta Boy. Listen though. Are they trying to breed to the dog that they want? Can you for okay? Anyway, the dog that people wondering about, that fucking dog dead. You can't breed to the dog anyway. So you got to move forward at some point. And if you again, like I said, if you out here bulldogging, like people claim they bulldogging, eventually you gonna make your own pedigree anyway.
let
So
me
But
so so
but but,
so
but, but
do
you
it
still
matter?
want to know. But you still want to know how your shit is bred, don't you? Or do you not? Because if you don't want to know how it bred, then mean the papers don't damn matter. So if you either the papers matter or they don't. Because to me the papers matter, even if they hung or not. you still want to kind of know where your shit came from.
I mean, of course. That's. I mean, of course. But again, you got a lot of people who scream paperwork and the pay don't matter. You could go on Facebook and see it right now. They say, "Oh, paperwork and pay don't matter," and then you will see them in another post 2 days later talking about how the dog bred. But the paperwork and pedigree don't matter. So why you asking how the dog bred?
Yeah.
So it's just one of those things. But most of my dogs are profiled. But I also have a program with 7 generations that don't got no paperwork. I bred each and every one of them motherfuckers. I tested each and every one of them motherfuckers. So at the end of the day, all that work is my work. That's a whole new pedigree by itself. So again, most people that's holding on to these pedigree talks is most of those people are just copying breedings that they see so they can sell puppies. The other half, they just holding on to yard ornaments. Because at the end of the day, every time you breed, the fucking pedigree move forward. Every time you breed. So are you trying to hold on to something to sell and be in a conversation, or are you out here bulldogging and gonna make another great pedigree? That's what it
No,
boils down
we
to.
trying to preserve it. Yeah, we trying to preserve it. But we want the lineage is right. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, so
When I look at
that's
my pedigree, even though it don't matter to some motherfuckers, I go back to that motherfucker say Newport for Island. I want to look at these motherfuckers, see how they look. I don't give a damn if it don't matter or not in the next breeding, but I'm still going back to check this shit out. You know,
I mean, yeah,
you
of
know what I'm
course,
saying?
of
'Cause
course. That
I'm a
but you
pedigree
notice
head. So yeah,
certain conversations go away when you're dealing with honest dog men. So if you're dealing with a bunch of honest dog men, we ain't gotta go over all this paperwork and pay shit. We just need to
Right,
focus on the future. We just need to
right,
focus on the
yeah.
future if you're dealing with honest dog men. But when you're not dealing with honest dog men, we gotta keep talking about all this paperwork shit.
right.
Yeah, but you to the underdog man, you got to take care of all levels of the bulldog area from paperwork to the field. You know,
Oh, of course,
you
of
want to
course,
be
of
a
course.
standard guy. You know what I'm saying? You want your shit to be right. You know what I'm saying? The paperwork is a part of the dog. It ain't no, you know what I'm saying? Like that's what make our breed so much better than everybody else shit.
Yep,
You know what I'm saying? We can
yep,
go back
yep.
to our shit way back to the 20s and 10s and shit. And motherfuckers had these dogs. This over such and such, such, such. You know what I'm saying? That's the duty of our fraternity. You know?
Yeah, man, you gotta have the papers. The papers are important. Anybody who's telling you that, just take anything they say at that point with a grain of salt. You dig what I'm talking about? The most important thing is probably, just what is the dog doing? What are you seeing? What are you observing? Right? Is that good? And does that fit well with your line? But to understand why it will fit well with your line, because there are some strains and dogs that don't work with other stuff. It just doesn't pop. You know
Yeah,
what I mean?
yep, yep.
For whatever reason or other, and to add those things that are regularly known to be detriment into your line, even though that dog may be there is good, right? He may be good. You watching it is good, but to add to take the chance on something that has been historically a negative, and to add that into your line and the hope to get a positive out of it is the definition of insane. It's
Yep,
the
yep,
definition
yep.
of insane. So, you get, I was always taught best the best. You dig what I'm talking about, and that's how I came up. The actual breeding itself didn't matter. It was just really good dogs. You dig what I'm talking about? You put the best of what you had with the best of what you had, and you cross your fingers,
Yep,
right?
yep.
And once you did
But
that, you wanted to know where the hell they came from.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Yeah.
You know that
Yeah.
once you got these two bad motherfuckers, you still want to know where the hell they came from. You know,
Yeah. Because that's the first thing they're gonna ask you. What's that?
and what was the sauce? Yep,
Yep.
yep.
That first thing they're gonna ask you. What's that?
The thing is, especially today, like I know a guy that he left out the military. He wound up getting into some dogs. He live in North Carolina. Now, mind you, he liked the Chinaman shit. He has right now he has about 17 dogs, right? His personal dogs. He got paperwork for them, but he never registered them. All of the dogs, of course, have Chinamen in them. So me and him was talking about this situation, and he was like, "Yeah, eventually I'm gonna do this and this," but he was like, "I really don't have to look at my paperwork. Everything on this yard came down from Chinamen, and then you can go see all of the other family." I said, "Well, yeah, in that case, that's different. That's kind of different because you already know where most of the shit coming from. It's just
And
different strains of goddamn Chinamen."
and
But that's not.
you always do that though. You know what I'm saying? You always have your own pedigree. Like I got my
Yeah, yeah,
own
yeah, yeah,
home
yeah.
pedigree that ain't got nothing to do with none of that. I wrote out myself. Like you know what I'm saying? That's why when you bought the first magazine, Bucks gave you the copy of the calendar and the copy of the in-home pedigree. You know what I'm saying? Stuff you can make copies of it, and you can have your own pedigree at home before you send it off with whatever you want to do. So
Yep,
you can know
yep.
your own strain of dogs. You know.
That's all it is, man. You just got to cook, man. All that paper hanging shit and yada yada yada. Just me personally, just me. I, I'm not gonna paper hang. I'm just not gonna give you the fucking dog. That's just me. That's just me personally. I'm just not gonna give you the dog, bro. I'm not. I'm not about to do that, bro. I've seen some crazy shit, bro. I seen the motherfucker hang papers, sell a dog. Listen, sold the dog. That dog became a two-time winner. Years down the road, he was trying to get some shit off of that dog and slipped up and forgot that he told the guy that the dog had different paper. Well, he gave the guy different papers, and then the guy wound up running into a guy that had the belly mate of his dog at a show and told him, "Nah, the dog ain't bred like that." Who told you that?
You know what I'm saying? That's crazy.
yo, yo. So
Catch up with you, man.
I'm
That
not.
stuff
I'm not.
catch up with you.
Hey,
It's too.
hey,
It's too many lies.
AQ Henry.
Yeah.
Everyone don't go off the look of a dog, but somebody better be able to tell me something about this motherfucker. Like I ain't no just
Mm-hmm.
no the pedigree, and wham. This is good enough. No, I need to see how this dog look, a video or something. Like that's how you get. That's how you get fucked. You say everyone don't go
That's
off the
just
looks
like
of a
what you're
dog.
saying. It's a difference when you got 7 generations of this stuff on yard. I can see granddaddy, great granddaddy. They still on the yard.
You could
You know what I
come see
mean?
all the dogs. You could see each and every one
Yeah.
of them.
And so let's just say, for instance, Welsh breed, nothing but black dogs, generally, right? But when you ask Welsh on the back end, he says, "Well, yeah, there's generally black dogs, but they come out red sometimes, or they come out chocolate. So, every now and then a chocolate dog will come out. So when you go to his yard, you should see mostly black dogs and a few little chocolates. You know what I mean? Because he's gonna know. He's gonna tell you the little spices and seasonings that you don't normally get. Because he's
Yep.
seen it. He's seen it all. So I think it's always a good thing to always deal with a reputable, you know what I mean, somebody who has a history of putting dogs on the ground. You dig what I'm talking about?
Hey man, somebody shit fucking up, man. Somebody shit fucking up.
My bad, it might be mine.
Yeah, it's all about honest dog, man. The more, but see that's the thing that go back to the networking. That go back to the networking. If you got a good network, you ain't got to worry about all that bullshit. You ain't got to worry about all that bullshit. But uh, sometimes
More
you
likely
gotta
than
go.
not, it's some shady motherfuckers out there. More likely than not, you
Yeah,
know.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
No, we
Of
don't,
course,
we
yeah.
don't, we don't, we don't, we don't, we don't like to say it, but it's a lot of shady motherfuckers who deal with these dogs. You know what I'm saying? You want to find a good straight shooter, a motherfucker got the same passion you got, and then y'all can go from there.
Whole time,
But
a
yeah,
lot of boy. Look at the back chat right quick. Look at them two pages. That's one of the programs. Me and my network is out there in Florida. That's one of the Florida programs.
yeah.
The one where you see where you see the honey bunch and shit stuff in there. That's the stuff out Florida.
It's a lot of good Jeep in here, huh?
Now if you click on both of them, you will notice what they got in common. But the one that you looking at, that's the program in Florida out
Oh, we
there where
got a
you at.
red boy Jocko crossed over with the Jeep, huh? I see it.
So mind you,
Oh man, with
best
the
best the
Cottonham
best.
out. At the bottom
So
of one of them right there.
so mind you, we going back and
Okay.
forth with that. That's just one
Macho.
program. That's just one program in Florida, bro. I got a bunch of them in different states where I'm networking. That's just one.
The Macho Boat, the Boils. I
That's why I
see
say
it
you got
now.
you got the network, man. They got the
So
all
we
that
got the
guessing
Sparky
and
in there, the Sparky, all the way back to the Chief Keef, the boat action stuff, coming from the Dirty Mirror, which is off of Red Baby. You know, the Bolio shit, Red Baby and Hank. Some good shit. It did bread up good now.
that's the stuff up there in Key West.
Oh yeah, some good stuff. Oh, this bottom pair. Let me check this out. Oh, this the brother, the sister breeding.
Hey, 50-50s, 50-50s.
50-50, 50-50.
What we looking at?
Okay. See the Barracuda back there with the 357. A lot of macho buck.
Hey, throw it up on the screen for me, man. I ain't at the crib at my computer. Put it up on the screen real quick, see a buck and share it.
The Marlowe preacher, good real boy. I like that bingo shit. That's
I
some of
like
that
the
shit in
bingo
my
stuff
boy.
too.
Hey, you know what's funny about the bingo stuff? There
The
there's a
Bolio, that's a Bolio. Tonka Bell shit. I see it.
the bingo family of dogs and some of their siblings, they have dogs today that's alive that's not even registered with the ADBA, that's registered with the UKC.
Hmm. I can, yeah, I
That's
can see
crazy.
that too.
I tell
I can
people
see how
all the
that could
time.
be,
I tell people
especially.
all the time. If you want to clean outcross, if you want to clean outcross that's not under the APBT label, all you got to do is go through the UKC database and see what dogs didn't take the change. It's the same blood. It's the same
Mm.
blood you got on your yard.
So what you say? What that the
I
bottom
know a
one in
lot of that
the
old
bottom
family
one in
stuff
the
got
third,
dual registered like that.
the bottom one in the third, them right there what they was. Them right there was brother sister breeding.
50-50, 50-50.
Okay.
I only do 50-50s. I don't do full siblings. I only do 50-50s. They got the same mama, Macho Boo,
Okay, yeah, they got different daddies.
different daddies.
But you did it top and bottom. You went back to them again, huh? In the second. You went back to the to they down to half brothers, half sisters again on their ass. Okay. Don't look bad, boy. I'll tell you that. Don't look bad, brother.
Yeah,
So basically, you got what? Second cousins breeding
oh, which one? Which one you looking at? The second one?
on the 50/50s. On the
The
50/50s,
bottom one.
they 50/50s top and
Ha-
bottom. So
Half,
they
half,
second
bro.
cousins,
They have brother and
Have,
sisters.
have brothers and
half
sisters.
brother and sister.
Both,
If
both
you look
times.
at it, if you look at the female macho boo, you will notice
J to
mo.
J.
Yeah, they.
Hey, share it on the screen for me, somebody, please. Because I'm trying to picture it in my head and I can't picture it.
Do you want it up? You might not want it on the screen.
Oh, okay. Oh, don't. Okay, my bad.
No, I mean, no. You could show that one. You could show the
Okay.
sec.
The
You
bottom
could show
one.
the second one. Yeah. Don't show the other one.
Yeah. Don't show the other one. I just look on it when I, you know what I mean.
Hey, but that second one bred up good, man. Got a little sparky in there. The macho butt top and bottom. On the macho boo bitch. Yeah, I know how bang bred. You know what I'm saying?
But yeah, that's one of that's one of that's one of my other programs that I locked in for the future. I'm gonna put that with some other stuff.
You know, what song, what song I was just thinking about when he said that. You ever heard that song go, "Pain, you make me a believer."
Oh yeah.
I was gonna say, "Pain, you make me a believer,
But yeah,
believer."
yeah, Lotto boy,
Um,
I told you some offspring out your way, big fella.
Oh yeah,
yeah,
shit.
I got some
I
shit. I
gotta.
got some shit cooking up my I got some shit cooking up myself right now. Definitely though. I like
We
it. I
just got
like it.
that stuff bred from they eat kinderbang. I got a dog
I ain't
that's
gonna.
kinderbang, and we just got him bred. Shout out to Ready Red.
What you say, a belly
Got
mate?
my nigga sauce together. You know what I mean?
I
So
got some
they
shit.
wanted to
I
go
got some
back to
shit
the
cooking up,
walkway.
man.
I couldn't tell them no. You did what I'm talking about. So they wanted to go that way. So they went back walk. There you go. You know what I mean?
I got some shit cooking up that I think gonna work out just fine. And I'm kind of
Yeah.
damn skeptical about what I'm gonna do with these damn pups. You know, 'cause these motherfuckers here gonna be some wild cowboys and cowgirls,
Yeah.
to say the least.
Hey, so y'all fellas, and this rabbit hole y'all down with the why breed and the papers, man. I done seen it all different type of ways, you know what I'm saying? I would say though, as far as keeping the whole litter, I or we and my team, we was always in a situation where we could maybe it's a litter and it's three of us and one of us might keep one on different yards and stuff like that, or you might outsource or network with people who still got your dogs. But I didn't really go to the next level until we was in a situation where we was able to keep not only just one litter, all the breedings that we were doing on the yard at the same time. It made a real big difference. And as far as the papers, I remember when first getting dogs, my first 20, 30, 40, 50 pit bulls, it wasn't no papers. It was just this dog is a Brujo dog, this dog is a Maverick dog, this a Chinaman dog, this a Jeep dog. Then it came to the point to where I've seen my first real pedigree, ADBA. Then it came to the point to where we didn't want it, no matter how the dog looked or what we was trying to do, we wanted to go somewhere who had dogs that was able to be registered. You know what I'm saying? Then it came to the point to where the internet online peds is damn near the new registry. You know what I'm saying? If you able to pull up a online ped on your dog, you damn near don't need no real registry. You know what I'm saying? That floats some people boat that don't, you know. So it's just pick and choose, you know what I'm saying? Then I was faced with a situation to where a dog, a male stud dog that I had for a long time, I didn't breed him till he was 5. To a dog, I didn't want to breed it because he didn't have papers, but the dog that I had that I was gonna breed him to, she was able to get ADVA papers. So talking to the lady, I forgot the lady name that you called it the ADBA. Talking to her and being able to communicate that I was a dog man and I knew everything about the dogs, I was able to get papers on the stud dog that didn't have no papers on it. You feel what I'm saying? And then past that, I could have. It's different registries. I could have got him registered with EpiNet registry. I could have got him registered with School Board registry. I could have got him
Yeah,
registered
I
Kennel
registered
Club
my
registry. You
schoolboy.
feel what I'm saying? So if you know what you're doing and how to navigate the terrain, and like Schoolboy said, every dog has a pedigree, as whether if you know it or not. But it's different ways that you can go about to get your dog registered. I done seen the funny part of the game though, with dog people go the extra mile to get a dog registered, and the whole time it's a lie. It's not the real dog, it's the brother or the sister, but they doing this to legitimize their history. I feel, just my opinion, you kind of want all your T's and I's dotted. So having paperwork on your dogs is just another form of being legitimized, you know what I'm saying? But now in the age of technology, who needs paper? You know, some people really feel like this and this high rock. Like, like
When
uh
them when them people when them people roll up on your ass, you want to be legit as possible. You
yeah.
know, you don't want
But
to
at
have
the
you don't want to be no ghost.
But at the same time, when the people roll up on you and you might not be doing nothing, but you got these dogs registered in your name, you feel what I'm saying? They could open up a whole nother different set of worms, and that right there is why some people choose not to register the dog. They want to be able, as long as the dog has the capability of being registered or can get registered, they cool with that. You feel what I'm
Exactly.
saying?
Well, game breaker. Let me let me
Yeah.
let me say it. Let me say it from this perspective, and for other people. Um, yeah, just because it's registered, but you got to remember when somebody gets shot in your neighborhood, and they say it's from a certain caliber, they go through the database to see everybody who has a registered 9 millimeter 4.5. It's the same thing with a motherfucker get shot in your neighborhood, bro. You might get a knock at the door. You might not get a fucking knock at the door. It's the same shit. It's the same shit with your car being registered. If they say a red Honda Sonata hit this motherfucker at the 7-Eleven 2 blocks away, and they do a scan and realize it just so happened to be a red Sonata on the backside of your house, then what? It's that whole scenario. Yes, it's true, but at the same time, it's a lot of people with paperwork that's doing shit out here and never got a knock at the door. At the end of the day, it's random selection, and it's just life, bro. So
Yeah,
me, no,
you
it's just life,
absolutely
bro.
You absolutely correct. I was just giving
But yeah,
giving a
yeah, but it's some
scenario of
old vets that got their shit written down on paper that ain't got their shit registered nowhere, but got their pedigree written down, like you was saying too.
yeah.
You know.
And
Well,
this
well, you
guy,
should you should always do that though. Even if you got paperwork, you should always have a book. That's at least what I was told. I got pedigrees on my dogs from when I was fucking 15 years old. You should always have a journal. You should always have a journal with your another copy with your dog's information, even though you got paperwork.
right?
Yeah, all got your handwritten
I
copy.
well, we'll shake this out right here. I done seen to where, like I was saying, just say you started 10 years ago, 15 years ago, and the parents that you started with was ADBA. You feel what I'm saying? And
Uh,
you was a private guy. You feel what I'm saying? You didn't you know, as long as you knew everything, every time you had a litter of puppies, you got the puppies registered, so you know it was a litter and all that. But as time go on, you got champion or grand champion this, grand champion that, and you got all this on your yard. You see what I'm saying? So you able to sell your stock to people in your lane without even no paperwork. You know what I'm saying? It
Oh
might
yeah,
come a
oh yeah,
time
oh yeah,
if
oh
they
yeah.
dogs get if they dogs become title dogs, they might want to the paperwork behind it, and then all y'all got to do is go through the process. You feel what I'm saying? And I done seen to where this camp or this person was unknown. They didn't know who this name was behind these pedigrees, and the only reason they figured out who the person was because one of the dogs, the first dogs, got registered. You know what I'm saying? Under his real name. You get what I'm saying?
I mean, yeah. But
Nah,
at the same,
ADBA, AQ Henry, ADBA don't give you no privacy. They locking people up because the
Who changed
dog is
routine to
bred way
get to
back in
us?
their blood. Like ADBA is not always the best to have your shit registered. Like they let the police want your shit any kind of way. When register your dog, I suggest, I suggest register with Schoolboy where he keep your shit private and privacy and he take good care of your shit. You know what I'm
now,
saying?
Lot boy, you absolutely right. But like I said on them other boys' podcasts, I'm gonna just tell you from my situation. All of my dogs, most 95% of them are registered. But this is the thing: none of my addresses lead back to my main house. Now listen what I'm about to
Mhm.
say. Listen to what I'm about to say. Everybody that got paperwork that's listening to this, look at the back of your paperwork. Nowhere on that paperwork is telling you put your real information on it. Nowhere on the
Exactly.
paperwork is forcing. Nowhere is forcing you, and it's sad that this probably the 10th time I said this year alone. Nowhere on that paperwork is forcing you to put real information.
And they don't ask for ID or
Nowhere on the
nothing.
paperwork.
None of that.
Exactly. So we got to stop blaming the fucking paperwork. We have to stop
Man,
blaming the paperwork, bro. The
you gotta watch
paperwork,
out what name you put that to, what your
The
name
bottom
is and
line
shit.
is that you
bro.
want to
Real
Listen,
name.
bro.
participate.
I got, I got, I got PO boxes. Some of my shit registered over at my grandmother old house. Ain't shit over there. You knock on that door, bust in that door, you got a lawsuit. Y'all got to think like the feds, bro. Y'all have to think like the feds. Anywhere, if they decide to try to fuck me over, they got a lawsuit. Cause when you bust down that door, ain't shit in there but a lawsuit. So again, fellas, ain't nobody forcing y'all to put all your secure private information on the paperwork. Nobody is forcing y'all to do that. So stop blaming it on the paperwork.
But it's still also the fact of that they give them the right to go on your shit.
I
School
mean,
don't keep your
yeah,
shit
yeah,
confident.
yeah,
Well, that's what
yeah.
School
anything.
That's
keep
If
your
the
true.
shit
feds
confident.
popping up at
You
your
know,
shit and they asking for your computers and shit, what are you gonna do?
you gotta
But
get
but
this
but
one on,
Lotta
bro.
boy, Lotta boy, listen to this. Listen to this, Lotta boy. I'm an automotive specialist. I do high performance cars and I specialize in EV. Most people don't know all these niggas driving around with OnStar and you're driving around with the feds. So the dog's paperwork should be the last thing you worried about. Cause if your car has OnStar in it, nigga, they can easily know what you're doing. So again, it's all about
Hey,
how you
hey,
move.
AQ,
It's
AQ. They is fucking people up for paperwork. You get people getting in trouble for backing up. Oh, this dog did this. That dog did that. They
oh
is
yeah,
getting in trouble for
oh
paperwork.
yeah, oh yes.
Ain't
But
no doubt
at the
about
end
that.
at the end of the day, if you looking for me and you got a false address, how the fuck you gonna find me?
Oh, definitely. Oh, definitely. Most of the time
So
they tell
so
them
so
themselves. Ain't no doubt about that.
most of
But
these
the
people tell on
paperwork can get
themselves,
you in trouble too.
but
The
the pay
paperwork can get your ass in trouble too.
anything can get you in trouble. A post can get you in
Yeah.
trouble. So at the end of the day, we all grown. The paperwork can only get us in trouble if we allow it to get us in trouble.
Nah,
At the
they'll
end of the
get your
day,
ass. They'll get you.
Nah,
but
they'll get your
if
ass.
They'll get you, bro.
hey, they can only get what they can prove.
Well, this is the bottom line.
Nah, them motherfuckers, they put some false shit on your ass.
We
You
can have a
can't prove a
conversation.
motherfucking thing.
It's definitely worth a conversation. You know what's basically what's
The
gonna happen.
motherfucker snakes, man.
They're gonna come to
I
your
mean,
yard or your house or wherever the fuck, they got a search warrant. And we see those paperwork as like this badge of honor and shit, but they look at it and they know it's really nothing. But what they do know is that it's like a little kid telling your mom, like if you're doing some shit, the little kid knows how to tell on you to get the mom's attention. So what they're going to try to do is say, yeah, he got this paperwork and these dogs are registered, and that's true. They're registered down off of the lineage, rather if it's 100 generations back. They registered down off of fighting dogs. You feel what I'm saying?
So we just gonna leave the transporter out? We just gonna leave the transporter out?
What do you mean? What does the transporter have to do with it?
You know how many niggas thought they got locked up because of paperwork, but it was the transporter? Y'all ain't heard some of these recent stories?
Well, I'm just saying.
Hey,
I was saying
the
a
paperwork
situation
will
on
still
how the
get your ass.
paperwork can get you locked up. That's what I was
You
saying.
can put it on a transporter. You can say this, you can say that, but that paperwork can still get your ass fucked up. And it's wrong and it's not right, but they will get your ass in trouble by former dogs that you never seen or never had just because they're in your bloodline. And they could say, well, this says here you're fighting dogs. Like it's plenty of motherfuckers that
Well,
got
no,
in trouble for
they're
fighting
just gonna
dogs.
tell the judge that the dogs they had the lineage of fighting dogs. That's what they're gonna tell the
Yep.
judge. Now the judge could be a cool judge and says, well, just because it has lineage of fighting dogs, so what? I know a little bit of. I was watching a podcast, and that doesn't mean that they're fighting the dogs. There's plenty of people in these dogs that they have the bloodline and they don't fight them. And not only to mention, you can't get this bloodline or these type of dogs without having that in there. But you're not always going to
Exactly.
get a judge like that, though.
You're not.
Most
You're
likely,
not.
you're going to get a regular ass tree hugger ass judge that doesn't know shit about it, that thinks that if you breed a dog every 6 months or this dog had more than 2 litters or he doesn't live in the house or he's on a chain, they're going to think that you're abusing this motherfucking dog. So
But
when the animal control people come in there 6 deep and they all making statements and they're bringing in all the calls from all the people complaining about you that you don't know about. Some motherfuckers right now on this shit right now got 30, 40 fucking complaints about your fucking dogs that you don't fucking know about. Let's stop the cap. Okay?
Straight up. Straight
Because you
up.
got some
It's
neighbors, they
a
gonna call the
job
police. Go ahead, bro. You
to
got it.
incriminate you. It's their job to try to incriminate you the best they fucking can. That's what they're gonna do. It ain't no
well
damn shit. They're gonna get you any way they can
that
get you. They can get you with the paperwork. They're gonna get your ass with the paperwork. If they can
well
get
that
you some
just
other shit,
I'm gonna tell you
they can
from
get you some other
experience.
shit.
I'm gonna tell you from, I got a stacks of shit, that they tried to say about me. So that's what I'm speaking of. I wouldn't be saying this shit if I didn't know firsthand, of the little shit. And it doesn't have nothing to do with a conviction. It just have to do with getting your dogs in a pickle. Okay? If you know what a pickle is, that's when
Yep.
you're trying to run to the base and they keep throwing the fucking ball back and forth, back and forth. They got your shit. They got your candy, and I'm throwing it to my homie. You run to me, I'm throwing it to him. You don't want your dogs to get tied up in that because it been many a great dog man that once they get the hold of your dogs and they get them in that pickle, we don't know what's gonna happen. At that point, then they try to come at you with charges and all kind of stupid shit. And then next thing you know, you lose all your fucking animals. So
well that's why
our
that's
job
why
is
you
to
need
not
Hey,
cameras
get them
too.
in the pickle at
hey,
all.
AQ. I got my papers right now. I could send off with ADBA. I just don't like the way that they let they shit go down. It ain't that I can't register my dogs with ADBA. I'm just speaking on facts, brother. It's
Well,
motherfuckers that get fucked up behind this paperwork, bro.
all
You know,
that means, and you don't have to really get fucked up behind it because, like he said, you don't have to put your information on there.
to
But
tell you put out
if you're
information
not,
that's not true.
if you don't have the paperwork at those spots,
Say it again. Say it again.
right?
Say it again.
I mean, if we listen, we having a conversation, we all got to listen to each other. You know what I'm saying? because there's shit that could come out, but it can't come out at the same time. You know what I'm saying? So,
but
you don't, if this at your house or wherever they gonna come get the search warrant or the complaints are gonna come, you can't have your paperwork right there. You know, at this point, you can't be telling people that you got APBTs, you know, all of this shit. You can't tell motherfuckers that, because everybody's not gonna believe that you got these fighting dogs. They clearly fighting dogs, you know, and you're not fighting them. It's kind of hard to believe. You know what I'm saying?
So it's all about the precaution. It's all about it, because again, if all of my shit go to PO boxes and places I'm not at, and the paperwork is not in the house, so you're not about to just tell me, oh, you got this information from the ADVA. Okay, you got it, but again, I'm not the one. You're not gonna see me when you show up to them places. So again, you chasing the ghost. My paperwork ain't gonna get me caught up because I ain't got it in the house and my real information not on it.
But if they're gonna take the dogs, they're gonna take the dogs.
You gotta find the dogs, Buck. I'm in the woods.
Oh man, they find them. They'll find the dogs.
Bro. You ain't finding my dogs, Buck.
They got drones, bro.
Nah, man. We talking about if they roll up on your yard, bro. We talking about if they roll up on your yard. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, don't tell me that paperwork can't get you fucked up. Whoever AQ here is somebody, we putting out misinformation. Buck is right here, man. Ain't no misinformation. Then the motherfuckers done got more prosecuted because of where they dogs came from in their lineage.
Well, ADBA and Bonafide, they're known as dog fighting organizations. Bro.
Yep.
You need to, you motherfuckers need to know that. You know, that's why I be trying to explain. Maybe I just do a video so I could just explain the shit to you. You know what I'm saying? Because
Buck, they kind of gave them a hint, but people don't pay attention. You can get your paperwork right. You can get your paperwork. You can also take that same dog and register that dog as some foundation stock, and everything behind him will say unknown. I don't think a lot of people know this.
Yeah, but still, the ADBA and Bonafide, Carl Mims used to run the Bonafide.
Everybody knows a fighting dog.
He's a convicted dog fighter, though. You feel me? So therefore, I'm talking about what they actually writing down on a piece of paper. I'm not speculating about shit right now. You see what I'm saying? That's what they're gonna put on the paper. Bro. They're gonna put on the paper that these dogs have dog fighting lineage, and if you got Bonafide or ADBA, they're gonna say that those are dog fighting organizations, bro. Straight up. Because of the Greenwoods used to be in dogs. People don't know that. The Greenwoods had ADBA probably since 1900 and shit. You know what I'm saying? Like, or whenever they started that shit, 1920 or, you know, wherever it's been a long ass time. You know what I'm saying?
But, you started keeping the blood because of the fighting. Like, that's what not sugarcoat this shit. That's the reason the motherfuckers start keeping track of the shit, because we won't know where the best motherfucking dogs come from.
Well, it don't matter if it's true. It don't matter if it's true. It just matters if I can say enough to get your dogs in a pickle. That's all that matters.
Yeah.
See, we're worried about the circus. Don't worry about the circus. Just focus on that one elephant in the room. That's all we're focusing on. They're gonna use that, and you might not get charged or nothing, but they're gonna put your dogs in a pickle, bruh. You're not going to be able to do anything. It's going to be up to them. And they're going to make up lies and do whatever they got to do to prevent you from getting your shit once they got them. You know, now, if they can't get on your yard, they can't get a search warrant because they don't know this, they don't know that, and you're doing everything, then that's a different story. Most people don't have a whole stack of vet records, though. Most people don't. You know, let's be honest. You don't just got a whole stack of fucking vet records that you could just pull out and say this. They take your dogs and then they wonder, like, you got all these dogs, 25 dogs. You don't got no vet records for these motherfuckers? None. That's a reason right there that they could take your fucking dogs if they really want to, bro. You need to know that. So you got to arm yourself with the proper shit. When I talk about taking videos of your shit, even if it's a 30-second video, I'm about to go out here and feed. Look at everybody looking good. You know, this is my video, blah, blah, blah. You make it every 3-4 days or once a week. Or, you know, that's something that once they get your shit in a pickle, you'll have things to bring to the table and say, nah, wait a minute, this is fucked up. I don't fight my dogs. I don't do none of this shit. Look at this. This is my pictures. You know, this is all my documents. I got my camera surveillance 24 hours a day. You could take this DVR. You could look at all this shit. Everything's good. It's up to you. Now, the law's fucked up because they got so much power. They don't really need too much of nothing to get a search warrant on your yard anymore. That's the thing. They changed the law. They giving the dogs more power because they can't defend themselves. That's the way they look at it. You know, and this ain't no speculation shit. You know, this is what it really is, what they're really going to say, the verbiage that they're going to use, and that's what's going to happen. So when you got these animals, you already at a disadvantage anyway. This is just a dog channel in general. You know, we would be like, yeah, we highly recommend don't own those, you know, those dogs, because we highly recommend people that if you're not for these dogs, not to get a hold of these dogs, not to get in these dogs, not to let anybody get one of these dogs, because it's going to come with a whole lot of other shit that you're not ready for, you know. And like you said earlier, it's all random. If they just want your yard, or you said nobody could find your yard, and one of them little game motherfuckers running around mountain climbing and goddamn he likes to hikers and all, they gonna stumble across your yard, bro. Believe that. You might not be there. They gonna stumble across your yard and they gonna take some pictures and they gonna give it to their motherfucking authority, and the authority's gonna come out. I'm telling you, that's how it's gonna happen. And a lot of people, yeah, it might take 20 years. It might take 10 months, you know, but when it does happen, it's always devastating. That's the only thing that's common about this shit. You know, we see good dog men, they take care of their shit. You know, I call them all the time. Hey, man, what worm are you using? Blah, blah, blah. What, you know, because I know they know the good shit because they keeping 100 motherfucking dogs. So if you keeping 100 dogs and looking good, you must know what the fuck you're doing. You know, they don't look at it like that. They look at it like you crazy. You got over 7 dogs? What? You nuts. It's just like when motherfucker look at me, I got a bunch of kids. We might be deep. Me and my girl, I got 6 with her. We go out to eat and shit, and Applebee's and, you know, all kind of shit. You know, motherfuckers always give us that look because it's not just a norm, right? So you got to understand how they think. It ain't about what you think. If I was the judge, you probably get off every time because I'd be like, wait a minute, they should have just came to his house just because they thought he was fighting. That, I think that's right there. That's a breach of your privacy right there. You know, you just thought he was fighting. You didn't catch him fighting. There's no rat coming in, confidential informants, nothing. You just take this guy's dog, and just because one of them was skinny or this or that, you know, dogs get sick. Motherfuckers get sick, you know, or you tested them. They got worms. That's what they're going to do. They're going to go get all 30 of them fucking dogs. They're going to test them at 30 dogs. How many? I'll let all you guys answer real quick. I don't want to get off topic, but how many do you think is going to test positive for worms? If you go to a yard right now and test the motherfucking dogs, how many going to test positive for worms? I'll let you guys answer that. A whole lot of them.
The average yard, maybe 10 of them motherfuckers.
Man, it might be all of them, dog. They might all test for
Might be all
worms
30.
because that's why you treating them for worms, because they got worms. You ain't treating a fucking dog if you don't got them. So you might have been ready to worm tomorrow. They all got worms. They all could test positive for that shit. But that's what they do. They say, yeah, there's 20 dogs. They all tested positive for worms. All this bullshit. They was talking about the protein and shit. Protein. What the fuck? Who checks their dog's protein? You see what I'm saying? So they're gonna make up all this shit, and the judge ain't gonna know what to do. The judge gonna be like, "Wait,
He just gonna go with this.
This is
You know,
too
he gonna
much.
be lost.
This is too much. Go.
He never
go
heard
get
of
the
his
motherfucker.
language.
Go get the motherfucker. So they come to the yard. They taking your fucking dogs, man. They gonna look at all that paperwork. Now, if they don't got it, and you ain't said you got that, then it's gonna be harder for them to try to link you to some dog fighting shit. But if you got paperwork, that is a number one go-to that they look for. You know, I wouldn't even tell people what I got. You don't even know what I got. You know, keep one of them little Merle bullies around. Let that motherfucker run around in your front yard. You might got 5, 6 dogs in the back that nobody really could see. They in cages and shit. Go get one of them little motherfuckers. Let him run around the premises and shit. You know, or that German Shepherd or that, you know what I'm saying? Something so that they won't think that, you know, it's a fighting dog. You know, it's just one of them little blotchy color Merle dogs. They don't typically think that those are fighting dogs on an average day. You know, that's huge right there. You know, shit I would have did. You know, I would have fucking did that. You know, there you go. If that lady, she want to hate on the dogs and shit, I brought out some fucking bullies. You know, here, there go the dog right here. It's a dog. Is that all? That's all you got? Yep, that's it. All right, thank you. Bye. She would have never did that shit. She would have never did that. You know, you got these motherfucking monster ass looking dogs. You know, she looking at them and shit. She probably wonder why they ain't fat as a motherfucker. You know, it's like, nah, hell no. Nah, these dogs, they work out. They train. They do this shit. You know what I'm saying? All this dog show shit, ribbons and shit, ADBA. They don't give a fuck about that, dog. That's dog fighting paraphernalia, bro. Straight up. That's what they said in my paperwork. I was just like shocked. Like, you know, I thought that I was trying to do the right fucking thing by the fucking community and shit. You know what I'm saying? And then, oh, that's all it is. That's, oh yeah, Carl Mims and, you know, all of this, you know, like, oh, fuck. I guess I can't argue with that. I really can't fucking argue with that. Of course, you still got to register your dogs. You got to do that. You got to register your dogs with the ADBA rather of anything that we're talking about on this whole conversation, because you need your dog registered in order to participate in the events that they got. You know, they got stuff like South Bottom. I think South Bottom and like Schoolboy, when he does his one over in Riverside, I think it's the Performance Over Pedigree dog show that they have in Riverside. I think you can go there without registry. But most of those events, if you want to become a champion like Marisol and shit, if she never had her ADBA paperwork, she would have never been an ADBA champion. You know, you could look at it like it's a money scheme. Maybe it is. Maybe it is.
With schoolboy paperwork, you automatic register for the ADBA show.
I never heard that. I hear you saying that, and unless you can prove that, I never heard that. I wouldn't bet $100, but I bet $10 that that's false. I won't bet 100 on it.
The same thing for you, but I heard the same thing. So
exactly.
Like you heard it, I heard.
So it's not. Yeah. That's what I'm saying. I don't like to speculate. I don't. Me personally, because it's just. And I even heard Schoolboy say that he didn't know, like he didn't, because somebody asked him. He was on the panel. Somebody asked him. You know, I be in and out. You know, conversations. I might leave a room, go over here on this computer. You know, fucking around on mute. You know, but I vaguely heard it, and they don't operate like that. They losing money like that. If you could just do that, then they losing the whole purpose of you having to register your dog. Each and every dog is a $60 register unless you register a litter, and then they even got to pay 40 or 25 or whatever it's going to take to even change the dog over. Once you give them the thing, you give them a single registration, they paying $60. Now I got stubs that say 40, like my old stubs. I give you a stub, you'll know it's mine because it's going to say it's $40 on there. I'm not going to give you one that says 50 or 60. That's how you know. If it comes from Buck City and it don't say $40, it's not legit. You see what I'm saying? Because I use the old paperwork for that. That's my shit. I do that, you know. So, hey man, we just in a fucked up situation. That's what it is. Yeah, that's what it sounds like. I'm not trying to scare people, but we just in a fucked up situation, bro. And if you know that, then you'll know how to move better, you know.
Being honest from the
registries
jump.
that we love, they get frowned upon. They do. Now we're trying to clean it up. We want to drop magazines and do good shit and clean this shit up. But the real deal is you can't do it, man.
Straight up and straight out. they don't want you to have these dogs to start with anyway. They just throw that out there. Even though you're allowed to have your dog, all honesty, they don't want you to have these dogs. They don't want these dogs around no more.
Yeah,
Most
see,
of these
he
tree
said
owners.
if you have ADBA paperwork, schoolboy, Mr. Garcia provides the show card. So if you're ADBA, you're already legit to go to schoolboy, but
Okay.
it's not the other way around. That's what I mean. That's what
Okay. Okay.
this is.
Mm-hmm.
You feel me? Which would be
Good
great.
call, see.
You know, you're in there. Your dog
Yeah,
is
good.
legit.
Yeah.
You know it's
Like
good.
I
You
said,
know
I
the
might do a
shows.
register my dog anyway. I got both papers right now, ready to shit off if I want to,
Well,
whenever I get ready, you know?
well, people can do their own registries. I mean, their own dog show, and just anybody could join. Fuck it. It's been more popular. It's been more people doing dog shows that are not the big registries, and I think that's great. I think it's great, man. Borderland, man. What's up, man? Borderland.
Slow motion, baby. You know what it is. I'm just
Hey,
listening.
slow motion's better than no motion.
You already know.
Slow
Yeah, I'm
motion
just
better
out
than no
here
motion.
soaking up, listening.
Yeah, nah,
Fucking
man. We
it up.
just chopping it up. You know me. I get on my
That's
little
all.
shit.
I stay
I
Friendly
get on my shit.
conversation.
But I don't want a motherfucker to go through what I went through. Feeling like a seat got pulled up from up onto you and shit. I don't want nobody to feel that shit because you don't have to. You can have your career and don't have to have a 5-year fucking
down, brother.
mishaps. That shit lasts a long time. Imagine if I would have stayed on progress and that shit wouldn't have never happened. It's like fuck. Now we talking about dynasty type of shit. So I don't want nobody else to fuck up their dynasty, behind some bullshit that could have been avoided. Arm yourself with the right shit. I got a couple articles in that magazine that's gonna help you kind of understand the fuckery. It's gonna give you a little bit of so you know how to talk to a lawyer a little bit. Like he ain't gonna look at you like you a dummy, because that's what they do. They look at you like, man, this motherfucker don't know this and that. They try to go into court and have less competition as possible. But what I'm trying to do is give you more spill. So when you need to arm yourself and they trying to pull some bullshit, you can go in there and tell the lawyer, hey man, we need to file this motion. We need to do this. We need to suppress this. We need to do that. Because a lot of times the lawyer's really just there to do what you tell them to do, really. And if you don't know what to tell them, then you just gonna get railroaded.
Don't know what to do.
So
And like over here, we here for the betterment of the breed. Like ain't no like I want you to win. Like we ain't trying to throw shade about the paperwork or nothing like that. Of course you want your dog registered, but we telling you the pros and the cons of it also and the nature that we live in with having these dogs.
Yeah.
Now this is a guy that's telling you firsthand of what he's been through and how shit was used against him. Like you can't tell him he lying because this is firsthand experience,
man.
100.
I want to see y'all succeed, bro. Straight up.
Yeah, that's facts. I think it's a great conversation that needs to be had. I think book is 100% correct. I agree with what Welch was saying. Also, if you taking preventative measures as you should, if you with anything, but with these dogs, you should be taking preventative measures. You could protect yourself a little bit per se. And but I'm also on the side of just having your name on a simple pedigree. I'm also on the side of I want my dogs registered, but just a average Joe who getting a Pit Bull Terrier, who ain't gonna do nothing but have this dog in the house and feed it, he could be a victim of, like Buck saying, being in the court process of a pickle of these folks thinking just because this dog is registered and maybe come off this or that, or maybe somebody got you sold a dog to somebody, you gave a dog to somebody and they were doing something wrong, and the dog's registered in your name, you could become a victim of this pickle. You know what I'm saying? And I think it's great, and it's something that they need to know. Awareness is life. You know what I'm saying? So you just need to be aware.
Yeah. Before they ride off with your shit, they smiling. I got the pictures. They were smiling, bringing out big old fat puppies. Just smiling and shit. Like motherfucker, what?
You know what?
People were calling me like, what? This is crazy. Them pretty ass dogs. What? Like anybody could have got picked up that day by the transporter and hauled off. You know, it ain't none of that, man. Stop this shit, you know. But they'll
Hey,
blow it up to that because that's what they want to do. They're gonna say it's a dog fighting ring and shit, you know, all of this shit. You know, that's what they're gonna do. Because once they do that, you got to think about how the judge feels. It's a process. You know, they got to go in there before they get a search warrant for your shit. They got to go in front of a judge and present a certain amount of evidence or whatever it is the complaint is, or if they got witnesses that's going to come and testify, whatever. And you don't know this is even going on. They up in that court, they might go 5-6 times and the judge deny them. You know, that's why I am going to say, but they definitely do some behind the scenes shit and try to get shit done, man. And if that's drones and shit, they're
man,
gonna try. They're
Listen,
gonna
man,
try.
if the motherfuckers done spent money to come to your yard, they'll do anything possible they can to prosecute your ass. Like they
man,
don't want to waste no money.
like Buck
They don't want to
saying,
waste no money, dog. Them bitches snake crooked than the letter S. I don't give a
but
damn. I'm gonna keep it a buck. Fuck them.
the judge,
The motherfuckers
prosecutor,
crooked, man.
lawyer, public defender, all that is a team sport. It's a team effort. You feel what I'm saying? It ain't just
Yeah.
no, yeah, it's a team. It's really, yeah, like you said, you versus them. And most people, like Buck said, are ignorant or dumb to the laws. But the first thing they gonna tell you is ignorance to the law is not an excuse. So, you know,
Exactly.
and that's just what that is. But Buck, I wanted to say something. You know, your whole track record and what you've been through. You asked me about the magazine. That's what I was saying, and what really impressed me the most of you done what you've been through and all that, and you were still able to produce a product of that quality. You know what I'm saying, and still staying down, still staying game, still scratching hard. You know what I'm saying. That was the most amazing part for me. And
Oh
the
man.
with the icing on the cake was it's a great quality product. You feel what I'm saying? With great news, great information. You know what I'm saying?
That's
Nah,
100.
appreciate that, man. Appreciate that. Now I feel
And
like I
man, that's what
just
it's all about, bro.
they don't see because I go off a 365-day system. I don't most people they're gonna judge you off of that 1 or 2 days that they seen you fail,
Ooh,
you
that
know,
was
and they're gonna
big,
hold that
man.
against you for the rest of your
Hey, you
life.
should have hit the do the sound effect again, cause that was big what you just said right there.
100.
Yeah, I
That
fucked up. I
365
fucked
about
up
for
like
that
five,
one.
six
That's
days.
yeah.
You probably saw me in the hot water probably 4 days out of my whole life during this shit or something, you know, a couple court appearances. Those is just days though. I still gotta be great every day. You know what I'm saying? I let them focus on that. They could focus on some 5-year-old shit, my downfalls. That's not what I'm gonna focus on because if I focus on that, I'm not gonna get nowhere. I gotta focus on doing better. And what can they do? You know, we doing legal shit now. It's more than one way to skin a cat. So,
100.
man, I hope y'all enjoy the mag though.
Yes,
We got some
sir.
more stuff popping up, and
Yep.
we keep putting that good knowledge in there, man.
Hey man, it's all about good topics, good discussion, to help all us be better dog, man. To keep all our shit safe, the further our own programs, bro, and being successful in preserving this breed. You know, that's what the Waking Bake all about. Roll you one up, let's cook it up, and let's get better, man. It's men and dog, man, bro. You know,
100.
and it's okay to support another brother, man. It don't hurt nothing to hit the like button. Like
It
nothing can
don't hurt.
happen. No way you can injure, dog. You can't get injured from hitting the like button. Nothing can happen to you, bro. You know, just a small gesture. You know,
Yeah, no, I just I'm not gonna let them defeat
electric.
me. And I knew only way to win, you know, I can't beat them. One of my homies told me this too. It was like, man, you know, you can't beat them like that. You know, you gotta beat them a certain way. You gotta play their game to beat them, you know. So all I'm doing is just not losing. You know, I'm not gonna lose. If in the end they're gonna lose. You feel me? I'm not
Uh,
losing. You feel me?
see
I'm gonna
what
keep
they
going. I'm gonna keep
understand.
building.
They ain't understand that the motherfucker was gonna keep scratching. They thought after a couple times he was gonna stand the line. Nah, I'm gonna go do that, handle that, and I'm gonna come out of that shit stronger. I'm gonna come out of it hungrier. You know, they just throw fuel on the fire to a real bulldog. You know, so
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying. I'm gonna keep supporting the team. Y'all support the team. Get the merchandise, man. Get the merchandise. Get the magazine. Now, y'all know what it is, man. Y'all know what it is.
even when you're playing
Support,
video
support.
games, nobody respects the guy. Let's say you're playing a fighting game where you got to go through a whole bunch of levels and you fight a bunch of dudes and then you get to the boss. Nobody respects the guy that you got to punch once and he just falls on the ground and dies. You don't
Right.
respect him. But that one guy that jump up out the tree and he might throw a couple things at you and you hit him, he get back up a couple times before he die. You at least respect him a little bit, right?
You know what I'm saying? Just a little bit.
You just a little bit.
Keep
Straight
track.
up. Straight up, man. That's what it's all about, man. Hey, you know, hey, we here to make each other better, bro. Like I said, you know, like shit. I come into every situation like a sponge. Like we from all over the country. We got all different mentors. We done been through all different situations. Like it wasn't this easy back in the day for me to holler at Buck while he way where he at and I'm way where I'm at, you know, and
Right.
just have a good conversation about these dogs, networking. You know what I'm saying? Like it's a lot easier now. We should be winning more than what we is, you know, besides the laws and shit. That's what make it harder than what it is back in the day. The laws right now, like we in the war. We in the war, man.
That's right.
Right.
You know, and that's what the magazine for education is our biggest weapon right now. To show these people how you're supposed to take care of these dogs, and that these dogs are happy. These dogs, all they show you is sad ass pictures on AP on the commercials and shit. A dog sad. When I see my dog on the train, this motherfucker happy, jumping, tail wagging. Like
Well,
some
I'm gonna
somebody
tell you,
lying.
right now, it's just like when they came through the hood and they started giving out those gang conjunctions and all that shit.
Yeah.
Motherfucker gotta put that rag up. You can't be riding around with that rag and shit, you know what I'm saying? Because they're gonna try to hit you with that. So you just gotta, when you got these dogs, it's gotta be a different way that you moving, and then you be all right, in my opinion. You
Yeah.
know, you can't move a certain way with these animals.
In this climate, if you ain't trying to put them in a positive light, you almost doing us a disservice. Yeah, in some
Those are
countries it's still legal for people to do their thing and whatever, whatever, whatever. But over here, like we try to turn the tide. We got to turn the tide. The only way to do that is to put these motherfuckers in a positive light and show them the reason we love them. You know what I'm saying?
Uh-huh.
I'm gonna tell you, them above the ground kennels.
Yeah.
Unless that motherfucker looks pristine and looking real good, it's a eyesore.
Yeah.
We got to come up. We got to get the fuck up out of those. We got to think of something else. It's got to be something else that's gonna look a little bit better, a little bit more presentable. Just those above the grounds. I seen one with just, like a motherfucker just using his resources just to put it together.
Right.
Different kind of gait, different, just kind of botched up looking like the leg was halfway off, rotted on one side, you know what I'm saying? Even some good looking ones, but just not really the idea size. We got to come up off of that. If you want to last long, you got to come up off of that. You got to spend more money on your setup. Straight
Mm.
up. You know,
Definitely, definitely,
I think
definitely.
10 by 10s are popping. I know it might take a lot of space or it costs a lot, a lot of wood, a lot of cement, a lot of different things that you might use to make that happen. But the 10 by 10, even if you saw 20 on a yard and it was all lined up in a row, everything clean, yard cut, they still wouldn't trip as much as, let's say you had 8 on a chain, fucking 6 above the ground kennels with a couple dogs looking out of them with pups in them and shit. You know what I'm saying? That's looking bad, because that's the first thing they show. You got to look at the first thing that they show when you see a dog bust or something like that. That's the first thing they show, is either a dog on the chain, or they show the above the ground kennel. You know, they want to show the living quarters of the dog. That's half of their battle. If they can show that the dog was in improper living quarters, that's the easy shit right there. You know, they don't, that's really nothing to prove. You see the shit right there, you take the picture, the dog was there. You could have just put the dog there for 2 minutes and then they came, but you know, they gonna say that the dog was fucking living there. You know, that's how they run it. So if you could prevent that, and the judge ain't gonna understand that, the judge ain't gonna say, oh yeah, no, that's a brood box. You know, the judge ain't gonna say that. The judge is gonna look at those pictures and they're gonna say, and then the dog has with no ventilation and no lighting, and you know, that's how they talk. And they're gonna be like, no way to move around, and you know, it looks sad, and you know, all of this shit. And the judge gonna be like, okay, I'll give you this search warrant. You got 5 days to do it. You know, every American pit bull type dog, you know, they're gonna say treadmills, breaking sticks, you know, all the
You going down? That's very familiar.
They're gonna say, they're gonna have a list of shit to take. They're gonna say electronic devices, cell phones, such as, you know, this is not speculation. This is what my search warrant said. You know, it's not the homie shit, you know, this is firsthand info. You know, like when I talk about the dogs, I talk about mentors and people I talk to, if you notice that, but this is firsthand. And that's what they're going to do. They're going to try to put a whole bunch of shit. I got one picture. The dog is on a chain, little small chain. And it says, no water. And the bowl clearly has water in it. Clearly. Like when I show you that, you guys gonna be like, what the fuck? And then they say weight pulling dog. It's one of them said weight pulling dog. It's got a picture of a bully with cut ears, big old fat 100-pound bully with cut ears. She was like, this is the definition of, this is the weight pulling dog. You know, so they're gonna do anything to try to fool the judge. This is like a game of Game of Thrones or some shit. Like, you know, their job is to fool the judge. And even when you go to trial, like you see this Sean Diddy shit, and you see what's going on. The prosecution's trying to do this, and they're trying to word it like this to try to persuade the jury like this. Like, you really got to understand that it's a damn opera. It's an opera. And the whole time, the reason why it's fucked up is because it's for your freedom and your dogs. Nobody else loses nothing in this.
That's right.
The fucking prosecutor don't lose shit. The judge don't lose shit. None of them motherfuckers. Your lawyer don't lose a motherfucking thing. Only motherfucker that loses is your black ass. So you need to know that, you know, when you out here, switch it up. Get rid of them pins, man. There's better shit than that. You could get the go get a 5x10 kennel. Go get the you can even put it a foot off the ground if you put pallets and those cinder blocks and pallets and you know whatnot. You can build it up, or just build it up an inch and put one step, build it up a foot, put one step maybe right there. But you can get those dog houses that sit on the back of the kennel or inside of the kennel, a really nice house with the top that comes up, right? You make, if it's on the outside, keep a lock on it, or, you know, keep a lock on it down the inside, or a couple clamps or something. And then if that's how you whelping your pups, then you open up the top, give them medicine and shit, putting them down, the mom running around doing what she do. It just looks a whole lot better. You know, when you're whelping your pups, you can get get a
Everybody got their thing. Like I got above the ground kennel, but I got like a attachment to the barrel in the back, so they got plenty of space in the front. Then they can go back in their barrel. You know what I'm saying? Like then when I'm finna build something else for her to have these pups and shit in. You know, you got to keep progressing in your yard. You know, when something else get played out, you got to move on to something else. You know. But you know, I like my shit the way I got it set up right now. You know, everybody got their thing. You know, in different states, different laws also. You know, can prevent you from doing certain things too. But yeah, but on 10 by 10s, them shits look real good though. They look real good.
well, ain't no state that you can have fighting dogs. So if your yard is looking like that, rather if you're doing it or not, you're gonna be a black eye, you know,
Mhm.
because this is what it is. Before Michael Vick, people didn't know what to look for. Like you could have a fighting dog in plain sight in your front yard. Motherfuckers had dogs in their front fucking yard. Fuck the backyard. I seen neighborhoods where motherfuckers had multiple dogs in the front fucking yard. You know what I'm saying? So it was, but nobody knew what to look for. After the Michael Vick shit happened, it hit the media so hard that in the images and the things, you know, the cages and different images, people on the outside that never would have known anything, they all of a sudden now they know what to look for. And then every single dog bust looks the same. Like they got the animal control, got the dog walking the dog out the house, or they got a yard with the dog animal control hunched down. They showing the above the ground pins, the chains, you know, the collars, the treadmills. Like it's all a repeated circle of shit. So do you see how hard, you know, like psychologically, how hard it is for them because they don't know shit. But how hard is it for them to not know that you're not doing shit? You feel me? Like if you see a
Mhm.
motherfucker you know coming up walking up out of a gay club, like you don't gotta know if he was up in there slapping dicks. You know, it's like, bro, what the fuck you doing? So it's the same thing with the dogs.
But
If
you gotta have
your
y'all
yard
right
looks
too.
the
Yeah.
same as the guy that got busted last week, your above the ground looks just like that. The dog on the chain looks just like that. You know, they 2 feet apart, barking at each other
And see,
just
we
like
ain't
that.
allowed to have
What do you
chains
think
and
they're gonna
shit.
do when they see that? The dogs are 2 feet apart and they bark at each other every fucking day.
Yes, I'm glad I ain't got that problem.
You gotta be
But
smart, dog.
yeah. Hmm. But like I said, with my shit set up like that shit immaculate,
Okay.
clean area. You know what I'm saying? Fresh yard cut, fresh water. You know what I'm saying? All that shit, the motherfuckers, they're gonna be on your
Bandana
ass.
muscle tees for the dogs.
They're
Hell
gonna be
yeah.
on your ass, man. You know?
We're gonna get it. We're gonna
All
be
that
like
shit. I don't
Hulkster.
got no breaking sticks on my yard, no treadmills, none of that shit. All that shit, very red flags. If you got any of that shit on your yard, no matter if you got a 20 by 20 kennel, you got any of that shit on your yard, they're gonna be on your ass. Breaking sticks, treadmills, like them big ass red flags to them people.
The paperwork with the breaking sticks and the
Scars on your
treadmill.
dog.
It's a lot of circumstantial evidence. It's circumstantial. Yeah, they didn't see you in the cookie jar, but you got crumbs on your shirt type of shit.
Yeah,
You see what I'm saying?
exactly.
That's how the
Exactly.
lawyer explained it to me. Literally, he's like, you know, that's the difference between circumstantial evidence and solid evidence. They don't need solid evidence. They could beat you on circumstantial shit. You know, you got your dog, one of them got a couple scars on them. You don't have no vet records for nothing, for nobody. If you got that many dogs, you should be taking somebody to the vet. Some fucking body.
You
Somebody.
gotta get rabies shots. Like, you know what I'm saying? You giving out your own rabies shots to these motherfuckers and shit. You know? So like
You
they
know?
gotta go to that vet.
Can't explain nothing. What happened to him? Oh, it was an accident. Blah blah blah. You got the vet records. Yeah, they'll believe you. It was an accident. Then you got the vet records to show and all that shit. Then they'll kind of back off a little bit. It's like, okay, They got us on that one. They'll look for something else. But you gotta have your
Yeah.
ducks in a row, bro. You gotta have your ducks in a row. And then dudes be talking reckless. Like, if you got dogs,
Right.
there's no way you should be on social media really talking about dog fighting, bro. That's to me, because yeah, we are glorifying the past, and we talking about the past, but how thin of a fucking slope is that? You got dogs on your yard, and then you on this motherfucker talking about dog fighting. I don't give a fuck if you was in the past or not. If you still got dogs and you getting up on here talking about, all that hot ass shit, bro, you're just asking for it, bro. You're asking for it. Now, if you totally out the dogs, like I heard Mr. Schoolboy say, and he talks about his shit like that, he's totally out of the dogs. He don't want no dogs. He's not trying to have no bloodlines or nothing. He just out the dogs. I think, there's nothing wrong with that. But there's nothing wrong with talking about anything, because you should have a freedom of speech, right? But the way these dogs work, they're gonna snatch you up for the shit that you saying on these panels, bro. They're gonna snatch your ass
Better
up.
believe it. There's one thing about me. I keep my yard like I'm inspecting them. You know, like, you know what I'm saying? Like, it's sooner or later, like, I have my shit killed like I expected that they coming sooner or later. But they will get your ass for shit on these panels. They definitely will, bro.
Yeah, they going in on you.
You know what I'm saying? They want to see this shit clean. They want to see fresh water. Even if they got a couple crumbs in the bowl, they want to see that these motherfuckers got food. They don't want to see no scars on these motherfuckers. You know what I'm saying? You ain't got no fighting equipment around. Like, it's hard for the motherfuckers to get you when you got your shit right. You got your paperwork. Oh, this was vaccinated then. He was vaccinated there. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, you gotta have your right ammo to fight back. Because once again, from the jump, they don't want us to have these dogs. Like, ain't no doubt about it. They want to get rid of these motherfuckers. They don't like them. They got a bad rep. You know, a lot of lies been told, but that's just what we got to deal with now. So starting off the gate, when they come to your yard, they're looking for something to take your shit because they don't want you to have them anyway. Every time you go to the vet, the first thing they say, I recommend you get it spaded and neutered. Like, they don't say they want you to get rid of these dogs, man. They don't want you to have these dogs, bro. So you gotta have the right ammo to fight these motherfuckers, and that's what Buck giving you. The right ammo to arm yourself with to give you a chance. Because they want to get you, they're gonna get your ass. But to give you a chance and getting your shit back or never getting your shit took. You know, for real,
You
you
never
gotta
know
up the
when they
game.
on you till they on you, man. So you gotta be on your shit,
Hmm.
man. You never
You
know.
gotta be on your shit.
They be on your ass. You never know. Motherfucker.
You gotta
It
stay
was all
ready,
a
so
dream
you
to
gotta
me.
get ready.
I'm gonna be honest. It was all a dream. I thought I had a perfect situation. No, I was doing my thing, bro. Living my dream. And then boom, there you go. There's a card you was dealt. So you just gotta be more careful, bro. Be more careful, man. Your surroundings, the people you fuck with, all of that. Everything matters. Somebody's gonna hear this. Somebody gonna hear it. You know what I'm saying? Everything matters.
Careful for them snakes, man.
Can't be on the
That
fence
motherfucker
either.
left,
I think
you know.
people we still think that we could be on the fence. Like right now, it's a no-fly zone with dog fighting right now. Like you don't even know what's going on. You get caught doing that shit right now, bro. You could be
Hanging your ass.
the
600
poster
years.
child. You could be the poster child for this shit. You could be that. You could be Evil Knievel, running around here getting cooked. So you don't want to be doing that. And dogs head all swelled up and shit, and like a basketball and shit, IV bags and shit. You know what I'm saying? All this crazy shit.
You're going down.
Over what? Over
You're
what?
going down, man. Because there's so many more snitches now. You know, they snitching on you. from afar. They don't even got to know you to snitch on you now. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, there's so many ways you get fucked up in this shit and not even think about it.
Man,
You know,
people's
go find your
talking
nice
about it.
confirmation
People's
show.
on group chats and shit, bro. They talking about the shit. You know, you think you're doing something, you think you hiding your dog and all this shit. You might be a real smooth motherfucker, but unfortunately, the people that was there is getting on social media talking about it. They talking about it to people that they don't know. Oh yeah, I seen champion such and such last week, motherfucker that they don't even fucking know. Like, oh yeah. Oh, he went into such and such. Yeah, there was a, and just talking, bro. So
Like a bitch.
it's a no-fly zone. Even if you wanted to do this shit, it's a dumbass idea to do.
If
It's
you want
dumb.
to do this shit, pack this shit up, move your ass to another country where they do it. It's not happening here. It's not. You get that shit out your head. It's not happening here, man. Them days over with. Find your good confirmation show. Find your weight pool. You know, you still get in trouble for that shit, but it's legal sports. You know,
You
find you
fight
something else.
them anyway. They're gonna look at your dog. This what they're gonna do. Let's say you got like 8 of them, and they can't find no paperwork or nothing. But there's a couple scars, consistent. That's what they say, consistent with the ones that you would see in dog fighting. That's every fucking thing that they say is the same shit. And then so you put you got the dogs on the yard. They take them. They gonna walk them to each other and see if they try to grab each other, And that's one of the things that they're gonna say. They're gonna be like, and the dogs, they were unsocialized and they could not be around each other, and blah blah blah. That's working in their advantage. That's working in
Yeah.
that's the pickle. That's the pickle right there. And what are you gonna say? What the fuck are you gonna say? Like, oh no, those dogs, they'll kill each other. Like, what are you gonna say in that situation? Straight up, because we gotta say something. Time's ticking.
Hey man, these motherfucking hunting dogs, man. They bred not to like other animals. They are predator aggressive. I take them hunting.
Okay, so why do you have them and shit? Why do you
Here's
have
a
them?
picture of the hog I killed last week that I fed my family with. You know, they went out and got the hog. You know, these are hard dogs.
You
You
got
know,
the vet
better,
records.
you better have
Your
something
dog scarred up. You get the vet records from that hog busting him up.
right here, sir. Right here, this right here.
You in jail. They don't got that. Your ass is weird. They don't got that shit. They don't even ask. They just search your house and they just automatically assume that you didn't have the shit. You see what I'm saying? They don't know. They don't know shit. You feel me? That's
Then I
that's
took you down all with it.
So you can't be on the fence. That's my thing. And even talking to guys that's dog fighting, that's gonna get you caught up too. Cause you motherfucker probably on a regular landline. They could easily tap your phone. Your shit's probably easy as fuck to just tap your shit and hear what you're saying, bro. And you on there talking about this, what you gonna do? You gonna buy this and do this, and you about to breed this, and they gonna be like this, and when you're doing all of that, you're just
They're
digging
knocking on
yourself
the
a
door, man.
deeper ditch, bro.
Gonna get a knock at the door.
Deeper ditch. And you might not even be saying nothing. You might be listening to him talk his ass off, but you still in it. And then now you got this litter and shit, and you do, oh, I'm not breeding for the purposes and all of this shit, but you on the phone talking to the nigga about it.
They don't want to hear that.
So yeah,
They don't want to hear that.
you probably ain't breeding for the purpose, but we got enough cookie on your motherfucking shirt that we can build a circumstantial case against you. Plus, your dogs had scars on them, and plus you had a fucking treadmill and a breaking stick, and some motherfucking paperwork that says Grand Champion Mayday in the background in Frisco. You feel me? So you must be doing something. And a lot of dog men done been in trouble with these dogs. So it ain't like, they could just say, that nobody has ever been, I don't give a fuck if you got Floyd Boudreaux shit, whoever's motherfucking line, David motherfucking Tant, goddamn, any motherfucker, Buck
It's
City,
in there.
anybody, you know what I'm saying?
It's
Like,
in there. It's
motherfucker,
in there.
motherfucker done been convicted, bro. You You know,
If
like
you got a true American Pit Bull Terrier, it's a dog in your damn breeding that have been by somebody who's been convicted. I think right now.
most likely, most
You
likely,
know,
you know. So that's why you don't really let everybody know your hand. You know, that social media shit. Watch what you put on that shit. Watch who you share.
hmm.
Watch, you know, if you're gonna do social media, don't just go invite your whole family on your dog social media and shit. If that's for your dogs, you keep it strictly dogs, bro. You know, you don't have it tied in. But that's what they're gonna do. They're gonna look at who the mutual friends are. They're gonna try to find out who the fuck you are. Like, oh yeah, he's such and such's cousin. And you look through there, oh, there's a birthday party with 8 pictures. Oh, maybe that's him. You know, then they find the address. Maybe he lives there. Okay, there's a car right there. Let me. Oh, his name popped up. You feel me? They're just investigating, dog. So eventually they're gonna find you. You know, then they get a gopher to go fly a drone over your shit, and they try to act like it's just a random ass motherfucker that live fucking 50 miles from you. You know what I'm saying? You know, they'll do that. And as long as you can't prove that they did that, then what the fuck are you gonna say? You know, it's just a random ass motherfucker. You know, so they'll find a way, and then their emotions, because they already think you fighting them. You know, you've been in the Facebook on them groups. Them is dog fighting groups. Those are illegal dog fighting groups, bro. That's what they say. They say that illegal dog fighting groups where people use to, you know, to traffic their dog fighting and do state to state fucking, you know, that's what that shit is, dog. You need to know that. You need to know that. And some of your friends on your friends list, on even on your dog shit, it's your shit. Got your face on there. It's you. You friends with motherfuckers that been convicted of shit. You been friends of motherfuckers that's in trouble
And
that's
don't
getting
even know.
for it right now.
I don't even know. Just because they got some good dogs, you hit the friend button.
You gotta have shit. You
Probably ain't
ain't gotta
never talked to them
have
or nothing.
friends, Chris.
Probably ain't never know them or nothing. Never talked to them or nothing. Yep.
They said somebody hit the like button because they said, see, this is what they say. They said Givens, yeah, his name popped up. He's in a couple people's investigation. And then because I get every email back and forth, whatever they're talking about to different people. So then they were like, you know, his name popped up. I think his name popped up in such and such, you know, somebody's shit. And they didn't say who it was. But then they said, okay, so it goes on. It's other shit in the middle of there. Then they followed up. Hey, did you guys find out if Gibbons, you know, what was the big deal about that? And then they said, oh, you know, it was really nothing. Somebody liked one of my shit. And then I said, salute or something, you know, or something dumb. They liked one of my posts, you know, fuck. But then you're gonna say that, oh, it's been a part of something, you know, like that ain't a part of nothing. Motherfucker liked a post. Liked my post. You liked my shit, motherfucker. I don't even know you, you know. But if they take a whole investigation on you through Facebook, because they can get a search warrant, just like we don't fuck with ADBA, you know, because they give up the information. Facebook do too. Everything you say on there, all those messages, all that shit. They got all that shit. Some of you motherfuckers is dumb as fuck because you know you done been on there saying dumbass shit, talking in the inbox, showing motherfuckers one-time winners and shit, meaningless ass shit, dumb motherfuckers putting off the chain, dumb motherfuckers, still doing it, still doing the shit. You know, thinking that the police ain't on there looking. It's just a matter of time. They gathering that shit up because once they put a face to that and a name and a face to that shit, that's all the ammo they need. Oh, here you on here arguing, motherfucker, about what your dog will do to a motherfucker. You got the best 45 and goddamn Jupiter. You know what I'm saying? So all of this shit adds up to you. Yeah, you wasn't shit, but then now all of a sudden you are somebody. you starting to have a nice future with this shit. You know, people's liking your stock, you're able to breed for yourself, and your shit's in such a demand that it ain't never nothing for you to snatch a couple dollars to help build your yard and shit. I got the idea of selling dogs because a motherfucker told me, this is a long time ago. We were talking about Tom Garner and he breeding this, he doing that. And somebody called him a peddler. And people do this shit. And they was like, you can't say shit about Tom. Tom spends, it's probably more than this now, but I believe he said over 200,000 on his setup. You know what I'm saying? But I believe, you know, he could have said more. He could have said, you know, but I think he did say like 200,000, you know, and maybe dude doesn't know that, you know, he probably spends way more than that on that fucking setup. But this was a while ago. You know, this probably like 8 years ago when, you know, me and this dude was having a little exchange and shit, you know what I'm saying? And then it clicked off in my head. I was like, damn. He was like, man, he spends over 200,000 on his infrastructure. You know, and I was like, oh, damn. You know, well, fuck. Let me tap in and try to build up my motherfucking infrastructure. You know what I'm saying? Like, since motherfuckers is out here selling dogs, building up their motherfucking infrastructure, you know, let me build my shit. You know, that's what I was thinking, like that type of shit, you know. So then you put yourself in a good position, but then they find you, and then it's like, let's get this guy. You know, he's trying to make money. He's trying to do this. He, you know, charismatic, different type of shit. You know, my YouTube channel was one of the things that they used to say I was a flight risk. Like, oh, he fucks with motherfuckers in Bangladesh and shit, and you know, all this shit, Munich, and you know what I'm
That's
saying?
crazy,
Goddamn,
man. That's bullshit.
you know, like,
Motherfuckers nasty,
oh,
dog.
this guy, you know, he's a flight risk. You know, he's got connections all in Bosnia and shit, you know. Like, come on, bro. And they could prove that. They could say, okay, well, this guy right here, you know, is from fucking Bosnia. You've been talking to him on here, you know. So it's just a pickle, man. That's why we got to paint these dogs in a positive light, man. APBT magazine, man. Look, I'm fighting for you, motherfuckers. Weak ass niggas in the booth, they a liar. I don't give a fuck. I never smoke bam, I smoke fire. Because I'm never gonna fucking retire. Every time I smoke that weed, nigga, I get higher and higher.
Straight up,
Light
man.
that shit up. Light it up.
Straight
Light
up.
it
I'm
up.
steady smoking.
Light it up. It's
But
only
yeah,
10
man,
over
you know,
here, but it's one. It's one on my time because I'm on East Coast time. But it's 10
yeah,
over here.
right, it's 1 o'clock, man. 1:04.
I get it.
Yes, sir.
Cracking is cracking. My guy Lamont Grant, my guy. I got to hit you on the back streets after the show, brother. You know how we do.
Sure. Cracking
You
is
know how we do.
motherfucking cracking, man.
Hey man, get that shit in, man.
Hey, man, hit the website, man. Hit the Weebly.com. Cracking is cracking. Hey,
Hey, I'm gonna
stand
put
on your
together a
dick.
fat package, man. Look at here's the email. I'm gonna put together a fat package for it's gonna be the best story. Whoever gives me the best story, this is like magazine type content, you know. So you got to get in your bag a little bit. Whoever gives me the best story. Hold on, where's my email? My motherfucking email. My email,
Yes,
man.
sir.
Whoever get the
I'm gonna
best
shake
story, I'm gonna
back,
send them
fellas.
a fat pack. It's gonna be a fat APBT magazine package. It might have multiple shirts and it's a fat pack of magazines. You know, it's gonna be a big pack of, you know, a nice little package. You know, whoever has the dopest story. So get your story in, throw the pictures with it. I could design it up. You ain't gotta worry about that, but write it up and throw the pictures with it. And whoever shit, after I get done putting it together, whoever shit come out the best, then you know we're gonna shoot you that APBT magazine, thou shalt not dry snitch, sucker free motherfucking package. You dig? That's how I'm feeling today. So let's get it. You can hit me on that phone number. You can hit me on that email and say, yeah, I just want to participate. Yeah, and then I'll point you in the right direction, kind of guide you, help you out a little bit with, if you kind of don't know what to do a story on, I could assist you if you use your resources and that assistance. So that's what we doing. I want to branch off, make this shit for some people. It might be somebody that's just tapping in and ain't never came to this channel at all, but they want to have a good story. They want to be a part of the magazine. They want to know what type of content that we need for the magazine. And they probably a good writer already, or we can assist you, man. We can figure this thing out. I think that'll be good, and that package would be nice, man. You could get your magazines, you could sell them, pass them out for free, do whatever you want. I'm sure I could fit at least 10 in there. Throw a nice brick of magazines in there with a couple shirts or something. I think I could probably fit that in one of them flat rate joints. You know what I'm saying? Probably whatever could fit in there. Couple pictures, couple. You know what I'm saying? Just kind of stuff him, and send him out. Whoever's the winner, and then of course that content's gonna be getting used, and we're gonna be able to filter it in with the APBT magazines that we got going on. So it's a win-win. Somebody's gonna win. We all participate, and then we get a few good writers that can come up and birth their contribution, to this shit. Even if I don't like you, you got a good story, you win, it's all good. I'm not tripping, bro. It's all about the betterment of the breed. If we're putting them in the positive light, we got good educational stories that we can carry the torch. I think it's gonna have to be a stretch because two is hard. I'm not just saying that, but two's got some it's got some shit in there. If you dig in it, it's got some shit, man. You be thinking like, damn, the fuck is this? So we definitely got to raise the bar. We got to raise the bar. Oh no, we ain't did nothing, man. We ain't did nothing. Bloodthirst, what up, brother? We ain't did nothing. Just getting it all the way in. Getting it all the way in. It was a good show, though. It was a good show. Definitely a good show. Takeaway, why keep the whole litter? I think we all was on the same page when it came to that. If it's really something that you want to know about, you're gonna get a better idea of what those dogs are in the full spectrum rather than just little bits and pieces. Because if I get a whole fat litter, depending on who the female is or whatever, you might get a couple tries at it, 2-3 litters, you keeping them all. You should know right there kind of what that bloodline is about. It'll give you a good idea rather than you just do 2 breedings and you keep one puppy off of one breeding and you keep 2 off the other breeding. I mean, if they're good, that's still a good indication. If you get 3 good ones and you didn't keep the majority of them, but maybe you wasn't keeping track of them, maybe you were, but it tells you a lot more if you're keeping the majority of them.
Mm-hmm.
To give you a lot more.
I agree.
Not every time, but when you're learning that line, you're learning some stuff. Or even if I do an outcross, it's going to teach me more about that outcross. Because I might got one that's good, but then there was 4 other ones that wasn't shit. And they were not only wasn't shit, but they had terrible traits that I hate and I just don't want. So the possibility of my dog throwing those same traits that the other 4 brothers threw, shit, that could be. It probably just skipped mine, you know, but it's still there. That's why I always look at the family of dogs, because if it's a good family, then it should have some. Because you can't build a family of dogs off of trash. You know, it's got to be some good producing in there somewhere. I just don't hear us talking too much about, you know, legendary trash. You know, like who is the best trash dog? Like we don't even have nothing that talks about that.
Shit.
You know, like, so it's got to be something good if it's coming out of it. And I even take a risk. Like, if it's a female coming down, all, you know what I'm saying? And I know that family of dogs are the shit. And I know that this is going to be my only real chance of taking a crack at it. Then I'm going to take that bitch. I'm going to breed her to my shit. And cross my fingers. But I'm not going to get rid of them all because I want to be able to pick from the best of that cross. It's not just a family thing. You know, we're making a cross now. So it's really, I think it's even more important to vet through it and sift through it, because you might have just gathered a whole bunch of bullshit, you know, with that cross. It probably took the bad shit from your dog and took the bad shit from that dog. There go your average. The average of the 8 puppies will be the bad traits. Get a couple that maybe stand out a little bit, but nothing special. You know, that's a litter that you want to pass on that. I'm not gonna keep that. Yeah, I used to have it. Oh man, I seen you used to have that. Yeah, I used to have that shit. Not fucking with it now. You live and you learn. You feel me? Motivation 101. Hey man, we get it, man. He said Diddy tested a few for gameness. DSK 903. What up, brother? Salute. Salute everybody. Listen, don't use no big ass flirt pose, man. I see you. Boss Hog, what up? Salute. Everybody smash that like button, man. Listen, man, don't have no big ass flirt pole like this. Don't have no big ass flirt pole, man. Don't do it to yourself. Yeah, I'm gonna get in these back streets, man. Oh yeah, I remember your rock, you told me to get that too fast. Yesterday, I didn't get it yesterday. I got it today though. I got it today. I met you on that back street, Borderland. Let me see. Let me go for it, man. Go for it all. Go for it all, man. See y'all on the next one. Waiting back, the best.
Drop fast, move too flip too fast. Ain't no such thing too fast.
Drop too fast, move too fast, live too fast. Ain't no such thing as too fast.
Money's always on my mind, so I'ma get it. And if it makes sense, then you know I'm down with it. Yeah,
too fast, move too fast, live too fast. Ain't no such thing as too fast.
I got it coming in like Usain Bolt. You want that dope? You gon' get what you pay for. Telling me I move fast, but I think you move slow. Time waits for no man. Gotta get that new dough. Just just dropped off the last batch. I got a new loaf. Had to double back cause he called and needed 2 more. Maybe I be driving too fast for that guap. It's coming in too fast. I pray it don't stop. Cause I was on the bottom, gotta climb to the top. Used to rock hand-me-downs, now I'm handy on the block. I came up off the rock like Sean. I'm a whole lobster, y'all prawns. You fucking with a king, y'all pawns. And for that 25, you get that Barry Bonds. Cause people say I drive too fast, yeah, too fast, live too fast. Ain't no such thing as too fast. Money's always on my mind, so I'ma get it. And if it makes sense, then you know I'm down with it. Cause people say I drive too fast, move too fast, live too fast. Ain't no such thing as too fast. I got it coming in like Usain Bolt. You want that dope? You gon' get what you pay for. Hey, move, bitch, get up out my way like Luda. Carpool lane by myself for the Gouda. One twitch, you could get black by a shooter. Real fast, come up in your house like an intruder. Drive 110 in the 60. Hand over that money first, you ain't about to jit me. Gotta keep that blick on my lap cause it get tricky. Keep both eyes open in these streets cause it get iffy. I need them blue avatars. Nigga, what you travel for? I was moving fast, shopping in that travel lodge. Or that days in, waiting till them days in. I'm blessed I made it this far, this shit's amazing. But people say I drive too fast, move too fast, live too fast. Ain't no such thing as too fast. Money's always on my mind, so I'ma get it. And if it makes sense, then you know I'm down with it. Cause people say I drive too fast, move too fast, live too fast. Ain't no such thing as too fast. I got it coming in like Usain Bolt. You want that dope? You gon' get what you pay for. Yeah.
Drop too fast, move too fast, live too fast. Ain't no such thing as too fast.
Drop fast, move too live too fast. Ain't no such thing too fast for me.